And coming to you live from an old woman's house on a hill where Kenny says that my intros take way too long, but yet he yammers on about nothing. It's Sports Allegedly.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Allegedly on this day, September 22nd, on a fine Friday. Joining me as usual,
Windy, rainy
Zach,
Friday.
And Creston and Sean across the way. How's everybody doing tonight? Everybody doing good? Let's talk.
I'm doing great.
Let's talk about what the most popular team right now in America is.
San Francisco 49ers!
No, it's got to be the Dallas Cowboys.
San Francisco 49ers!
This is the year. Oh, my God. What will they do next? Are they going to win it all? Is that going to be it? I mean, Jerry is loving it right now. After 2 weeks, they look like the best team. The defense... I mean, defense is good.
Defense is really good.
The defense is really good.
Did take a hit with Diggs, not Diggs.
Trayvon? Stephon was on the other team.
No, it's Diggs, yes. Going out, tore his ACL. Was it ACL or MCL? Anyway, I always joke about Diggs, though. It's either a 50-yard catch by the opponent or an interception. So I don't think that's going to be a huge loss because the front seven is the team of that defense. I mean, they're getting pressure. They're not giving a lot of time for the opposing quarterbacks to throw. And they look, I mean, it was, 60? I think they started, first game was 30-0. 40 to nothing, sorry, and then they put up 20.
40 where the defense did all the heavy lifting.
Correct. So
the defense is doing all the heavy lifting.
And then they put up 30-10 against a quarterbackless Jets.
I agree, but I mean, they have, according to Zach, one of the best defenses in the league.
They do.
Jets.
I think they're leading in the Jets. I was saying
That's
Dallas
what
is
I was
leading.
saying.
Dallas is leading in turnovers and takeaways.
But no, I mean, it looks like the team to beat, honestly. Now, watch San Francisco last night on the Thursday night game. I think we all
Kenny hated every minute of it
No,
because Brock Purdy shined.
I do think, though, after watching Purdy, and I have continued to give him a little more credit as we have went on these podcasts.
No, you have not.
But I do think he is a read one guy.
Wrong.
I think he's a very... I mean, the offenses they're setting up for him to succeed, and that's what you're supposed to do as an NFL coach.
I think
no
he's
doubt.
the correct read guy. He sees
He's
the
doing
read
the first one,
that
maybe
is,
the second one. Hey,
and that's perfectly fine. At least he gets it there.
I'm not
you
saying-
could be
hey,
Justin Fields
hey,
and
listen.
just not read anything.
I agree, but I'm not saying that he's bad.
Whoa! Did you hear that? He agrees because Justin
No, I was
Fields.
talking about Purdy. I didn't talk about Justin Fields. We're not talking.
He
about
doesn't
him.
want to
He
read.
tried to bring that up, but I'm
He
not
sucks.
talking that.
I'm just saying that his reads he can't read.
Okay, so as far as Purdy, the guy is great. I mean, he's 8-0, I think, in regular season.
Yep.
As a starter, he is continuing to look like the
1-1 in the
steal
playoffs.
of that draft when many quarterbacks went before him and that have made a lot of money and are really bad.
Setting it backups.
And so but I think though that Dallas still overall is more talented on both sides of the ball. I really do. I mean, I just do. Now, will Dak show up to be that Dak that we generally know in big games?
Yes, he will.
Coming up.
Mark it down.
Oh, we got to mark it down.
Oh, we got to mark it down.
We got to mark it down.
We got a Creston mark it down.
So anyway, I was looking at their schedule. September 24th, they play, obviously this weekend, they play the Cardinals, who everybody is going to pick. I think, Sean, the spread, did it get up to, it was double digits.
9.5?
12.5 or 10.5. But,
No, yeah, that one was.
So
12.5.
That was 12.5.
Obviously, Dallas looks good in that. Now, the next few games are going to be a tell-all tale as far as Dak and what he's going to do offensively. They go, they're at home at the Patriots. Now, the Patriots are 0-2 currently. They don't look as good, obviously, because they don't have Tom Brady. I mean, they're not going to. So, but their defense looks not
Patriots
bad.
has played they've been in every game right down to the last.
Correct.
3 interceptions that game for Dak. That'll be the first one. The Patriots game.
Yeah.
Calling that, too.
Well,
We need to
now,
write back on the-
does he not play the
I'm
49ers
going,
before
no,
that?
that's next.
Next.
No,
That's
that's
next.
Oh, that's
game,
after.
yeah.
That's after.
49ers.
Yeah, so then October
That's a
8th,
for
it's
sure
going to be a
3
night game.
Yeah, he's going to be running from
That's
Bosa.
going to be at the 49ers. Now, that's going to be Now, I'm going to say right now Dallas looks to be the best team. Now, 2 weeks from now, after this week, I mean, if they lose to Arizona, of course, we're going to be wrong. But
Yeah, they're beating up on the Jets, Cardinals.
We'll go 2
Giants.
weeks. We'll go 2 weeks and see how good
As
they
the
are.
Cowboys do.
Poor Josh Dobbs is going to be like, I won this game.
The only difference of this year and every other year that has passed forever is that there's more people saying it's the Cowboys' year.
Who's
I
the
mean, we're all
defensive
saying it,
coordinator
you know
right
what I
now?
mean? But are we falling? Is this
Dallas?
a magic trick?
Quinn.
I said it last
Oh,
year.
yeah.
I thought the Cowboys was going to win it last year. And there again, Dak let everybody down. When it
I don't have a great memory on that. Who beat them in the playoffs? Do you
In
remember?
your defense, you don't have a great memory, period.
Anyway, I remember weird things, but
I
not
remember
that. I
who
don't remember
beat
that
them.
game. Who beat them? Do you remember that?
It's not stuff you say
What?
that's wrong.
I never remember
Who beat
that.
them in the playoffs?
Who beat the Cowboys in the playoffs?
Oh, we all know.
I know who.
I
Yeah.
know who.
Wait.
No, they beat Tampa.
They
in the
beat
playoffs.
No, they beat
Brock
Tampa.
Purdy.
Yep.
Oh,
the
that's what I was
49ers.
asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like, this is the first defense,
Ain't that
real
when
defense, and
he
he's
ran
going to
the
face
ball?
all season.
Ain't that when he ran the ball with 17 seconds left and ran it for, instead of getting out of bounds or going down and spiking the ball, he ran it all the way down to something and the clock ran out? What
That
that
was-
was,
was
strong
that regular
and
season?
genius.
No, you're talking about Dak?
Yeah.
That was the year before.
was that the year before?
That was the year before that he made that
Horrific.
boneheaded-
Well, they had
yeah,
that. They had that Brainiac play at the end.
for
Remember, they had like one shot to throw it downfield, and they gave it to
I don't
Ezekiel.
think it was a year before. I do think it might have been this year, but I don't know if it was a playoff
no,
game. It might have been a
It
regular
was
the
the
one
playoff
where
game.
Yes,
the one
'cause
where
it-
Dak screwed up was a playoff game, and that was when they were in the championship.
It was Zeke's
Against-
last play.
Have they made a championship game? I don't think so.
Who'd they
It is
play?
the
Who'd they play the year before?
I think Tampa beat them the year before. did
Tampa
they
beat
not?
them the year before.
But it was the bonehead move by Dak,
No,
who was
Tampa was smacking that ass. I don't think
It was last year in
Yeah.
the 49ers,
You might be
I'm
right.
pretty sure, when he done that.
Sean, we'll look it up. But anyways, we move on.
Just type in last
That's
play
that's
of that
gonna
game.
be that's gonna be 2 weeks. But let me real quick go over the schedule of Dallas after that. At Chargers, they might have a new coach by then. New enthusiasm. Then they Rams come to the
You're
Cowboys.
gonna love that one.
After they get a bye week after the Chargers. My apologies. And then the 29th, Rams at Cowboys. Then we go Cowboys at Eagles, Giants at Cowboys, not going to be a game, and the Panthers ain't going to be a game. Washington at Cowboys, Seahawks at Cowboys, Eagles at Cowboys. And then this is the gauntlet that I love as we end. It's at Bills, at Dolphins, Lions at home, and then close at Washington. And Washington's a never a give-me game at home.
Not against the Cowboys. That's a big
it's
rivalry game. Yeah.
So, I mean, you're talking. I mean, we looked down there. We predicted some wins, and I think we didn't. We probably had 9 or 10 wins, maybe 11 at the most. I think everybody picked them. Did everybody pick them to win that? I mean, second. Sorry, second against the Eagles would have been first. Everybody picked the Eagles to win.
We should go back to. I wish we could go back to that and see what we all said. Because remember, we went down the schedule. I wonder if we said that they would open up 3.
In our mini podcast, where we just anticipated we had to talk football when football was still a month away.
Because I'm pretty
Like,
sure.
hell, the schedule's out. But, yeah, so they beat them 19. Was that last year? 19-12?
Yes, this is the
yes,
playoff
okay.
game, the divisional.
So, I mean, they're pretty equal teams. We'll see in 2 weeks. I'm interested to see what they do against the Patriots. I think their offense is trash, but the defense plays pretty well, plays fundamentally sound for the Patriots. So it'll be interesting to see as we move forward. Anything else in the NFL, guys, that been surprising, been disappointing, that you didn't expect? Anything new as far as some teams that obviously I've been calling the Chargers. I think you guys have kind of echoed that now as Brandon Staley needs to go. Defense is horrible. He's supposed to be some sort of defensive
no,
guru.
the surprise for me is that there are 3 teams in the NFC South that are 2-0.
Yeah, this week is probably going to be a tell-all sign that's not going to continue, though.
It's a tell-all week.
It is
Tell-all
a tell-all
games.
week. Week 3, baby.
Dallas into the season. It's a tell-all.
No, I think
Next 2 games probably going to be a tell-all.
it is a tell-all for sure. It's a tell-all episode. Put that in there. Tell it all, baby. Tell it all. No,
The
but
tell-all
but
episode.
I think Atlanta probably they play the Detroit Lions this week. They could potentially lose. You've got Tampa playing
Who's
the
playing the
Eagles.
Lions?
Atlanta, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean that's a potential loss for Atlanta. He brought up to Sal. Tampa's going to and the Saints. They just look. I mean defense
O-line
looked
bad.
pretty good.
Real
but their
bad.
offenses and that's one thing that stands out. That's one thing I want to talk about. And I'm glad you brought that up. watching the Giants last night. Name me someone that played last night on the Giants that's a talented person that you want, that you would say, I want that guy on my team.
Like another team, like, God, it'd be cool if we had him.
Versus a lot of other people.
It was against the 49ers, and it was the previous season.
Okay.
That's where he spiked the ball to stop the clock.
With no time
On
left.
fourth, yeah.
And then ran.
On fourth down?
No, it was
In the
fourth.
fourth. In the fourth.
Okay.
So we had 10 seconds left to spike it, but I would have thought that would have said time ran out on 7. We'll look at the box score.
But that was the end of the game. You see the end of the game, and it says...
We did spike it with 10 seconds left. So he was good there.
So what happened? That's what I said. What
Okay,
happened
so
after
why
that?
does it say that and then down to this? So yeah, that
He
was
had
the
no
bonehead.
time left. When he went to spike the ball.
Yeah, I see that, but why does it say 10 seconds?
It was
Guys,
10 seconds. It was 10 seconds past, I guess.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, did he go into overtime? But it didn't.
No.
And Dallas outscored him that half. And that's been a problem with Dallas, though, too. If you watch, a lot of times their offense is either really out of the gate strong or they just kind of... Yeah, they remind me of the Bills a little bit, struggling on offense early in big games. Generally, the Bills tend to not really get on
They don't have a good start. Cincinnati as well. Cincinnati does not have a good start.
0-2 again this year for Cincinnati. I
the
think they
season
went 0-2
and
last
does the same
year.
thing.
And actually, since the playoffs went to 7 teams, there's only been one team that's ever made the playoffs starting 0-2, and that's the Bengals. 2 years ago, I think. Or it had been last year, actually. So, interesting.
Did Patriots? Patriots.
No, not starting 0-2. Now, the Patriots are also 0-2, and it's be the first time they start 0-3, and I don't know, that's
Since
I
before
couldn't-
Brady.
Oh, well, yeah,
since
obviously.
Belichick. Since Belichick was at the Browns.
God, okay.
I saw that.
Definitely
Since
possible,
Belichick
'cause
has
they
not
were
been 0-2
They were horrible.
since he was at the Browns.
But anyway, I was going back to my point about the O-line
rid of Kozar.
and the Giants. I mean, is there anybody on that team? I mean, obviously Barkley was gone. I mean, is there anybody you watch on that team and you're like, damn, I'd like to have that guy on my team? I saw no one. I think Thibodeau's overrated. Never been impressed with him.
Slayton was about the highlight of the whole
Would have
team.
never taken him as the number 2 pick. I mean, I know the hype.
Daniel
and they've done
Jones
it.
looked lost.
And he looks at times flashes, but I mean, last night, I mean, they were kicking his ass. He didn't get a lot of pressure. Of course, now they played Purdy, which is, I mean, they try to get the ball out of his hands
I
fast.
love when you say his
Every
quarterback needs to get the ball out of their
I
hands
understand that,
fast.
and that's what you do for a young guy that's a little above average quarterback, is you try to get the ball out of their
Used
hands.
to be.
He tried to
It's
throw
like
the
below
ball.
average.
He
and then
tries
it was
to throw
average.
his Purdy bar.
Now it's like a
Now
little
he
above
keeps
average.
winning. He's like he's a little, just barely above average.
Guy wins a Super Bowl MVP, and he'll be like, anyone could have done that.
And anybody on that
Throw
team
Fields
would
on
have
that
been-
team, wouldn't have fucking mattered.
No, he denies
Throw
that.
Dak on that team,
He
would have
denies-
won.
After the Trey Lance debacle, he denies that.
I thought the well, he's never got a shot though.
He started 4 games.
He got
He's
hurt.
0-4.
But he
Played
got
in
hurt.
6.
So they were trying to slide him
Played
in.
in
And hey,
6.
and don't
Can
get
Trey
me
Lance-
Played in 6, but started 4.
Played in
Can
6.
Trey Lance go 143 yards, 0-0, and win by 40 points with the Cowboys?
It looks like he could.
Probably.
It looks like he could.
Yeah, it happens all the time, though.
Isn't he the backup there?
That's what
now?
Guinea
yeah,
said.
a lot of yak. But anyway, yeah, but why do you say that? I mean, you're just giving Dak shit now.
Yeah,
I
they
wasn't
are.
giving Dak shit. I was just quarterbacks in your systems that you talk about.
Oh, I think it's huge
Huge.
What's huge?
to get the right quarterback to fit
Quarterbacks
your
in the system.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously
You were
what's
saying
even-
the
what's
shit
even bigger than
quarterbacks
that?
in a good system. They
You know
can
what's
just
even
do
bigger
whatever.
than that?
well,
Brock
they'll
Purdy,
do better.
Example, yeah.
I mean, they'll do better.
You know what's bigger
Jalen.
than that? Coaches and offensive coordinators making the system work with the quarterback they've got.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. You've got to have the right quarterback for your system.
build it.
You can't.
He's saying like build a system around him though.
The quarterback.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what they've
but
done
see-
at the Eagles.
Yes, agree. And they tweaked that. But then, what are they doing at Chicago? Though you talk about Justin Fields, they're not giving him. They're not giving him anything.
He doesn't need to be the quarterback. He's a running back.
Let him run then. I mean, he's a pass guy first.
Yeah, but when he
yeah,
runs,
yeah,
when he
they're
runs, he
building
gets sacked.
the system that they're building for him is to pass more when he doesn't pass.
It's kind of
He's
like
not a
what we're
passer.
gonna.
That's a team
it's,
doing
hey,
the opposite of
know.
what they should
Lamar
do.
Jackson. We're gonna see it this year too.
They do it to him. They did it to him. He won his MVP with his legs, and the next year they're like, okay, we're going to do a little bit more passing. He just hasn't been the same since that first year. Which
They got
was
paid.
a badass year, though.
Looks like their defense is better.
Legendary year.
What is his
Back-
playoff
year.
record?
Who?
Lamar?
Oh,
Has he
I
been
don't
to the playoffs?
Yeah, he's
So it's
been.
like-
I don't think he's ever won, has he? I'm sure he's won.
I think
one.
Huntley
I'm
did
sure
better.
we're
Well, I just
missing
didn't even
some.
know he really made it because, I mean, the Bengals always beat the shit out of him before they get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they've made it. And,
Well, they
and
might
I
have
think
made it, and
Huntley-
then the Bengals beat them though. I mean, because they've had good years where they
like
didn't win
a
the
couple
division.
wild cards or some
Yeah.
shit.
And I think Huntley's What did Huntley win the first game or lose?
It's not really wild
Did
card
they
anymore.
play?
You just get one bye.
Did they have to
Yeah.
play the Bengals the first game last season?
You're right. It's not a wild card call. It's just like number 1 gets it, and then 2 through 7 play.
No? Okay.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
just say.
What? What was you saying?
Did the Ravens have to play the Bengals in the first round
Oh, I don't know.
last season? I think they did.
I think so too, because I think that game was really close. If I'm not mistaken, the Ravens should have maybe won that game.
And did Huntley not play in one of those playoffs games where they played?
Huntley played in the last game, the last playoff game.
Okay, that's
Because Lamar was injured for most of the season. Huntley got them into the playoffs.
Yeah, I think that MVP year he went to the playoffs and lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I just wondered if he won at least one game. Because we all know Jay Cutler's won 2 games.
For who?
And the Bears in the playoffs.
Well, you're talking about the Giants. Okay, let me ask you a question. This Saquon Barkley, has he had a season yet where he was healthy the whole season?
I think last
One
year.
season.
Maybe.
Last year.
One
Last
season,
year?
okay.
He actually managed to stay healthy for one season.
And they had a winning record last year.
Well, you look at guys like Nick Chubb, it's been healthy every season, and then
He's a machine.
goes down, and you see how pedestrian the Browns' offense is. And you've got your quarterback getting personal foul face masks.
2 or
Twice.
3 in the game,
I think it was
yes.
twice. So what does that tell you?
You're looking at
He
Baker
just
over there,
can't keep-
2-0
He just can't keep his hands off people
for about $48 million a year less.
for guaranteed money.
I don't know.
He'll touch you.
Was he actually touching people or just
Yeah, he was
having
forcing.
people touching
No, he
him?
was
Yeah.
forcing. They were
forcing
being
people
paid
to
to
touch
touch
him.
him, and then he would force them to touch him in his gentleman region. Kenny's gone quiet. I don't know what's
I'm
happening.
letting y'all
down there.
talk. Go ahead.
Oh no! I
He's
didn't-
looking up Lamar's stats, but
Oh,
he's
yeah.
on his 6 website.
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
Just look at Lamar playoff record.
I don't know that there was any other really surprise.
I think he played.
That's what I'm saying. I said
Sean
that as he
McVay
played.
going for an unneeded field goal to ruin all of our spreads.
Yes,
for that.
no kidding.
Ain't got no money on that, did he?
No, he said he didn't. He said he didn't. He wasn't aware of the spread.
Oh, surprising. I guess there
Oh.
is something kind of surprising. Richardson does look really well with 2 games.
He does, but concussion protocol. So
I mean, compared to Stroud and Bryce, I mean, he looks really good.
yeah, and Bryce is out too. What happened?
What are they
with
letting
that?
him do though? They're letting him run.
But he also can throw. I mean,
I
he
know,
throws
but
it-
they're
I mean,
letting him
yeah.
be mobile though too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
That's
he's
why he's
a
got
little
a
more accurate.
concussion, unfortunately. But I mean, probably, allegedly.
Well, after his
happened
first
with Bryce?
touchdown last
Bryce,
week.
the other rookie, Bryce Young, he's out.
Yes, he's got an ankle injury.
Yeah, he hurt his ankle, and I didn't even see that in the game. I watched that game. I did not see him get an ankle injury. I just knew that Dalton came in at the end,
There it is.
and I thought that was because they were losing.
All I know, I don't know.
The Bills beat him in the
I
divisional round.
looking at him and his stature and
He's not just,
everything,
you know, one guy.
I thought he was going to be injury prone.
What was
I mean,
his-
you
what
just
was
look
his-
at people, and he
his
just
touchdown?
doesn't look like
One
he's
interception,
built
1 and 2, 0 and 2.
to take hits.
Dang, what's his rushing yards?
So
What is he doing? He's just talking over everybody.
Oh, we're looking at Lamar's stats, and
We're right, but you're just.
He's been in 4 playoff games, and he
How many does he won?
won.
where's
Well,
the
one.
4th one?
Well, 1, 2,
Oh, gotcha,
3,
gotcha.
4, because he played that year.
Yeah.
So I think you might be right. I think Huntley did start that game against the Bengals. And,
He did. Last season, he did.
And that was a close.
Lamar was still
I
out.
mean, the defense for the Ravens is kind of coming back.
And Lamar did
to
really
look
well.
okay. Yeah.
I'm
But I mean, in the end, though, you got to have it. Put your quarterback. If he's got talent in somewhere besides just throwing the ball deep, if he's got legs, let him use his legs. Quit worrying about injury.
Okay, so you just turn into a complete run team, and they know. Okay, well, run play, run play, run play, run play.
Well, no,
run
I
play.
mean, you've got. I mean, they succeeded.
You said RPO yesterday, but guess what?
They succeeded in college that way. Why can't they
He has
succeed in
wide
NFL?
open guys and can't see them in the NFL.
I understand that. I
For
totally
some
understand
reason,
that.
Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, and Anthony Richardson can see those.
Now, well, you say that, but I haven't seen anything yet from Bryce Young that says that he's going to be just as great as
Generational.
I'm not, and
Stroud.
I'm saying
we're
that.
talking 2 games with those rookies. Let's peel back a little bit. Fields has, and in my
Buck is
opinion,
still
I'm
safe.
beginning to wonder, and he's had more time. I'm beginning to wonder if that coaching staff just needs to all go. And if you look at
No, just
at the,
let
at the
him
Bears,
go.
let him go.
Fields is going to
No,
run.
Fields
have
is
you
a
seen-
problem.
Have you seen
Fields
the GM?
is a problem.
But they have no talent. Who else is there besides Moore?
Mooney's just fine.
Claypool.
Claypool's
Weapons.
there.
Come on, guys.
Maybe if
Stop.
he was Pickett, you'd call
Who's a
him
running
weapons. But he's with Fields. They're
Khalil
not weapons.
Herbert and Rashawn Johnson.
Never heard of her. Anyway,
I'm sure you have it
Yeah, and-
because they're not dressed out in Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
no, but I mean, I don't
Cole
think-
Kmet's really good, too, though.
yeah, but I don't think their defense is
What-
very good. I
how
don't think
much-
their offensive line is
What did
very
Rashawn
good.
Johnson do against the Packers? He ran. They have massive yards from him. He did really well.
This week we're going to see, in my opinion, Fields run a lot because his past two
He
previous
said that he's going to go.
defenses-
He said that he's going to go do what Josh Fields does. He's not going to be a robot, and what we're going to see is massive failure. And
Well, I just meant the defense trying to eat him alive and
the
give him
defense is
pre-
going to. Chris
give-
Jones is going to.
That's what's going to make him run. I think we're
Chris
going to see
Jones
him
is just
hauling
going to
ass.
is going to do nothing but tear him up.
But that's why I think he's going to run more.
You're going to
this
see a game of 6-7 sacks.
Reads. He's not going to be able to pick a read.
You want to
'cause
you
he's
want
not-
to you want to do a score prediction for that?
Yeah. He ain't going to have time.
I'll say
for
30,
one.
for the Bears
Who they
Chiefs
play
game.
this week? Oh, Chiefs. Yeah,
I'll
Chiefs.
say 31-7.
Yeah, well, okay, so that's fine. I mean, I'm going to go 42-10, and I'm hoping it's 110-10 because they have.
Why are you
a lot
hoping
of-
that? Because
well,
you
I have a
hate
fantasy
Bears?
team, but anyway, I have a fantasy team.
Oh, you're
That's why I
hoping Patrick Mahomes.
He's hoping
yeah.
Mahomes and Kelsey.
Yeah,
just,
they
Yeah, I
score
forgot.
about 8 touchdowns
I
together.
forgot that.
I got Fields, so I'm going for a little bit of a tighter game.
No, but I mean,
He's hoping for the
is that
breakout.
really your starting quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't play the Chiefs
He picked
defense
up-
this week because it's just dumb. I can't play them against each other.
You
Why don't you
can't.
send that Chiefs defense on over to
So he
Daddy?
picked up. So he picked up
playing?
Richardson, who's
Who
in
is top
concussion
five?
protocol.
Cardinals.
So that means that he's more than likely not playing this game,
Right.
which
So
is
his
his backup
backup is-
quarterback.
Don't do it yet. I'm busy. No, but I'm saying.
Now, if we
Chiefs
could have done a
defense probably
trade,
top
I would have
five
traded in
the
Purdy
league.
and then
Would you agree
traded
with
back.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna
And,
look
and
any
last
better.
year we talked about
Yeah.
this, and you didn't think they were that good, and I told you they were a little
I didn't
better.
think they were.
Who?
The Chiefs,
The Chiefs.
defense they've gotten better. I mean, I love Spagnuolo as their defensive coordinator, but I thought that was a liability last year for them.
It was a weak point, but Mahomes, the offensive creativity really pulled them out of.
Well,
the
that's
game.
obviously what that's going to help.
But
I mean,
that
they're
pulled
obviously
them
better on
out of
offense.
games.
Yeah, I understand.
That still
that.
pulled them
but
out
they
of
didn't
games.
let them score a lot. I
Yeah,
didn't see the
people-
final
yeah.
rankings, but it made a big difference when Jones come back though on the defensive line after they signed him from game 1 to game 2. So anyway,
Didn't he have like 3 sacks?
I got to.
Or not
Well, he
3
was
sacks,
out for
but
the first game.
He was out for the
Yeah,
first game,
and
but
then
he
made
had a
a
lot
big
of
difference
pressure.
when he come back. That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
made a huge difference coming back to the defense.
I thought you said
But-
he did.
No, he did. So going back to my original thought, and we'll move on to college football we'll talk about the Giants. There's no one on there. But you look at teams right now, and one thing that Jerry and his son, Steven, have done well is draft. And I know there's a theory in the NFL that you don't take offensive linemen, 1 or 2, in the first or second round. Well, but what they've done is they've continued to they've kind of said, fuck that, we're going to do what we're going to do. And that's one thing that Dallas has done well is keep that offensive line good. You watched the Giants last night. You look at the.
I think it's a defeat thing too for Jerry. I mean, he doesn't want to. I mean, he was the same with Romo. I'm not getting rid of this guy. I'm not getting rid of Dak. So we'll just keep building the pieces around him. And
Yeah, but Dak
hey,
is better
Dak-
than Romo.
hey,
Dak's
listen,
numbers is better.
is Dak better than
choked-
Romo? Romo's good too. I mean, in the realm of Dak.
Okay.
Dak's
Okay.
Dak's got a better team though than Romo did, in my opinion.
For sure.
I
CeeDee's
would
better
agree
than
with that.
Dez.
Yes.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would, yeah.
Like-
But my deal
I mean,
is
there was better
Dak,
talent overall.
Dak just his problem is he just screws up. He makes brain. I mean, it's a brain fart. He screws up in big games.
Now,
it's like deer in the headlights. Like, oh shit, what do? I'm
Now,
gonna fuck up.
Now, how about this though? So
Like the Jets in the playoffs this year when they have Kirk Cousins, it'll be like, wow, this is for real. And he'll throw like 8 picks to whoever he plays. You know what I mean?
We haven't even
I
gotten
don't-
into the
you-
fact that Kirk Cousins
Yeah,
may or may not be
I was
going
trying to
in.
segment into the
I'm just gonna say, everybody can say what you want about Cousins. That guy gets hit more than any quarterback in the league. He gets more pressure. He gets hit more times.
And
So
my
you
MVP
cannot. I mean, when he's throwing the ball and he gets hit from the blind side and the ball goes flopping out to the side and a
hey, you're
lineman
right.
can't.
It's a perfect. It's
hold
another
on.
example that we were just talking about. You've got
Excuse me.
Daniel Jones. You've got Kirk Cousins. The people they were talking about is these O lines on these teams. I thought that Derek Carr for the Saints, their O line looked pretty weak.
That was bad. Real bad.
Bryce Young,
Yeah,
I
it
thought
wasn't-
his O line. I mean, that poor guy was running around everywhere, and he's a rookie.
We kind of knew that was going to happen to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We
already-
knew that Bryce
we
Young
talked
wasn't
about
going to
that. We
change.
said that
He
on
wasn't
the
going to
podcast.
change.
That's, I
that.
think Carolina was picked last, weren't they?
Who picked Carolina?
Yeah,
last
we all
week?
picked them.
Everybody picked him.
Oh, we
last.
picked the same.
Yeah.
It's looking like the Falcons. You know what's funny
Yeah,
is
I'm looking
me
at
and
the
you
Falcons
picked the
going.
Falcons won,
And then we
we
switched
changed
it,
it.
yeah.
It's like we should have just kept it.
Yeah,
We should've.
I'm looking at Falcons going 1 now, and Bucks probably 2.
But we had them one. Me and you
I
had
wouldn't
them
go
one.
that far yet.
Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, but-
the way that the Saints are looking, I could see them.
Week 2 though, my Kirk
I could see
Cousins
them being
MVP
8,
pick
9,
is looking
9,
pretty
and 8.
good.
You know,
Who you talking about?
the Saints and the Bucks. I can see them 8, 9, 9, and 8.
Hey, I'm a Bucks fan.
And if
but
he
let's
goes to the
not buy
Jets?
the
Yeah,
hype
we
yet on
can.
that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't even know if we can get 8.
I'm saying Bucks and Saints. It's they're going to finish 8-9, 9-8.
They'll be close, real close.
One of those is going to have one, and one have the other. I don't know which one.
Yeah, but Atlanta looks.
they're going to have.
They're
going
going
to
to be
have,
up there too. I think that's
they're
going to be a
10-win
tight
season.
race.
I can see a 10-win
I
season.
think I picked.
We all picked the same.
Okay, did we all pick?
We all picked the same.
right there.
But me and
Preston
had
picked
the Falcons
Falcons one,
and the Saints,
and we
then
switched at the last
switched
minute.
it.
You know, you let us
The
change.
anxiety of
whoever
you
wanted
guys
to- yeah,
talking shit on him.
We changed.
Desmond Ritter ain't gonna do fucking shit.
So I guess you want to close out the NFL segment, Kenny, is what you were saying.
Yeah, get ready to move on.
All right. So
Let's talk about-
one thing before we go, we need to address the Hail Mary pass that succeeded
The Broncos.
and then failed miserably.
Oh Jesus!
With the refs.
It only bounced off of 12
well,
players.
with the refs doing pass interference, not pass interference.
What?
Is anybody? We've talked about it personally,
Okay.
but I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. What's going on with that? What is they like into the game? They just don't call anything, and during
That's
the first,
happened. Yeah,
first
that's
3
happened all
quarters.
year.
First 3 quarters, you barely touch it. Kenny was bitching about it last night about the
The first 3 quarters,
About,
if someone
the
runs too
Giants.
close and they sneeze on them,
Right.
it's like pass interference.
pass interference.
And then they get mugged in the end zone in the last minute of the game. And, I mean, literally hit before the ball even is within 3 yards of them. No call.
right now,
I don't. That's bullshit.
Now, one thing Kenny did need to understand was the bump and run, and that was legitimate. But all the other stuff, yeah, we understand. What in the hell is going on with the NFL and them not wanting to call fourth quarter? Is there?
It's not even
was there a
fourth quarter.
meeting?
It's late fourth quarter that they don't call.
Yeah, but still, it's mainly fourth quarter. Is there a meeting that would happen that was
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd make it so boring too with the 30 seconds left, and they throw the flag and you're like, oh fuck, I paid money.
like
to be
they
here,
were
that's fine.
slap fighting last night? You saw that? They were slap fighting.
No, I mean, I know, I agree. I'm
And-
just saying, I
and
think
no
that's why
call.
they do it. It's weird. In the playoffs, they would do it though, right? I mean, I would assume.
We don't know. We don't know about
We
this
ain't got
season. We haven't
I
made
mean,
it
this
to playoffs.
season's. This is a new thing because we've watched several games together, and it's like he was mugged before the ball was. I mean, seriously. I mean,
Yeah, the Broncos.
I don't
the
know.
Broncos guy was mugged, right there,
yeah.
and you could see it. What was the first? What happened in the first week when the guy got
I don't even remember what
jerked
game that was.
down? It was like right at the end of the game, and the ref sitting there staring at it, going, "No call,"
Yeah, I know.
and just walks
We
away.
talked
Game's
about it.
over.
I mean, that was like Deshaun Watson. I felt bad. I think we need to file a lawsuit for the way that guy was touched before the ball got there. I'm serious.
Deshaun Watson. Did you not see how he was touching other people?
That was my
the
point.
face mask.
That was my point.
Quarterback, 2 face mask penalties.
I'm just telling you, he's very I mean, he thinks instead of stiff arming or
was gonna
something. I
say
mean, he just
handsome. reaches
up and just jerks their face. I mean, that was stupid
You
on
can
his part.
stiff arm. You cannot grab. And
He's
defense
not.
or offense.
He's not stiff arming in the
You
face. He
cannot
is grabbing and
close your
dragging them
hand.
around behind them and then jerking them down
With the ball in his hand.
Yeah,
That
with
was-
the ball. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
with
like,
looking for someone.
That was
Who
90s.
was this?
Deshaun
Watson.
That
I
was,
mean, it
that's
was
how
bad.
you did
For
it.
it?
Yeah, he did.
Twice.
Twice. Personal foul. That's how you did it in the 90s and back. You could grab. You remember? Shit. I want to say Earl Campbell, but I don't think it was Earl Campbell. But there's a few running backs you'd see in highlights where they would just grab the face mask and jerk the guy
yeah.
around.
That was what Deshaun was doing. I mean, he done that
Right,
twice.
you can't do that anymore.
Pulled them from beside to behind. and then
Offense
jerked
or
them down.
defense, you cannot do that anymore.
And generally, though, the offense will get the benefit of the doubt. They generally don't call that much, even if you're doing this. I mean, you get a defensive lineman
Open hand.
that gets up
Open
under.
hand
but
was
no, but I
fine,
mean,
but-
you get defensive lineman.
Defensive lineman get hands to the face.
Yeah, it's illegal hands to the face, and they're shoving that up. And now a quarterback can do that now when it's running. I don't agree with it. I think if you should be able to pat it. Now he's up there shoving his head up. Should be the same call if it's on defense versus offense. But you guys talking about the picks earlier? I'm sorry about the penalties. That what they're doing is fans don't like penalties. It bores the game. It slows it down. I mean, how many times we watching a game and we're sitting there going, "Oh yeah, we got it moving there," and it's like, "Oh, holding. Okay, cool." It was a half-ass hold by a lineman, and then the next play later, it's another holding and it's another flag, and then they got to fucking review it.
Or,
It's like,
or a guy
Jesus.
gets taken completely down and they don't call.
I mean, I'm almost to go back to old school and say don't review anything, or get the refs off the field And then, see, that's a problem because people say, well, hey, get the refs off the field and just use the cameras. Well, that's going to increase your penalties by whodunit because they miss a lot of the stuff too.
Well, did you see OBJ pull what's his nuts down on top of him?
Well,
And the ref wasn't even looking, throws the flag. He's looking over here. OBJ pulls the defensive back down on top of him. Gets a pass interference call.
I don't think
that was before he went out.
NFL is as bad as MLB, but I do think that refs tend to try to be a show at part of the time.
Oh,
and obviously the umpire, the plate umpire is going to be the big show. Baseball, they like to be very dramatic.
I was talking to the plate to my financier today, and we were talking about that, and there was just like somebody told the umps to be an asshole.
More money than we think.
We are.
Okay. He's like, and put that pot of gold for sports allegedly over here, and we're going to do a little
down
something
payment,
over
sir.
here.
He's like, I have a special account for that.
I'm prepaid cash today.
So it's the whole thing of the digital strike box.
Yeah, and I don't like that.
Have
either.
the plate umpires be assholes and just and call.
I don't like it either. I mean, they have to. You have to be
consistent.
Like any job, yes, you've got to be on a consistent
and
level.
they're not consistent.
No, they're
human
not.
error is what you're saying.
Yeah,
compared
but you
to
got
the
to
box,
compare that human error, and I don't mind the refs too, but it's not consistent as far as what they're calling, and that was my whole bitch about that. I mean, you guys say, oh, well, he bumped him a little bit when he was running around. You crossed the 5-yard line. That's fine. I understand that rule. But when you're at the 10 or the 12 and you guys are fisticuffing already as a one-on-one going down the field, what's the difference?
That's what I brought up last night when they were hand fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also had a bitch about the...
he barely done this.
Well, he bitched about Brock Purdy scoring touchdowns.
No, you had a bitch last night about the roughing the passer.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about that too. Yeah. Yes.
Well, let's get it in.
Go ahead.
No, I mean, a guy that's 350 fucking pounds comes running.
He's supposed to completely stop.
Yes, going to completely stop. Now, what he can't do, though, and I've seen this as a penalty, is you're running to a quarterback, and that quarterback throws the ball away. What he does is he hugs him and tackles him. They call a penalty because he landed on him. Fair enough. That's a penalty. Now, let me give you 2 more scenarios, and I want you to judge this. The second scenario is he's running at 100 speed. Now, remember, this guy's big. This quarterback's tiny. He's an average quarterback, and he's tiny. But anyway.
Brock Purdy.
Yes. So anyway, he's above average. But anyway, I was joking. So anyway, you tackle him up. That was the first. That was a penalty. Here's the second option, or the second scenario. He's running full speed, throws it away, and he takes his hands with his palms, and he pushes him right in the chest. That's guy, it's a penalty because he falls down, rolls over 40 times dramatically backwards. Okay, so the third time is you go to him and you're going to tackle him and you wrap him up, and one of you said you got to fall together like you're a couple in bed, going to bed together, cuddling. Or would it be spooning or whatever?
It might have been me.
Spoon. But anyway, so he's going to tackle and grab him and then pull him to his side, and then looks like he's going to
suplex him.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a penalty.
got spooned a couple times
that
last year.
Yeah, and that's a penalty too. So what is the defensive player?
Exactly. I'm not disagreeing. I think every sport right now has too many rules.
Put a flag on the quarterback if that's what you want to get away from, and just do it that way.
Take the flag.
You touch him, he's done.
The thing is that the referees are not taking into account that these defensive linebackers are at full speed, and if they cannot stop, they are wrapping up the quarterback, but they're doing it to protect the quarterback and themselves.
Could they not just put a
to
time
go
on
down
it?
together?
Like after the ball leaves his hand, you got like 2 seconds. You know what I mean?
They'll try that shit too, but it's game. It's game speed.
So if you watch,
so they generally never pull a penalty back on themselves over cameras because they're like,
when they get smoked,
you watch certain defensive linemen and linebackers, and they will try to they will do what they can to protect the quarterback, still roughing the passer.
Here's my deal, and you have to also take into account. Here's my problem I have.
You have the asshole.
You have Jalen Hurts. You have Baltimore.
Lamar
Jackson. You have all these quarterbacks that's running quarterbacks. Josh Allen, he runs the ball quite a bit. It's a different scenario because you go in the backfield, he goes to scrambling, and you still get personal fouls on him when they tackle him. Well, when he's breaking to run and you smoke him, shouldn't be a foul. Okay, he's getting $87 million a freaking snap of the ball.
Yeah, we forget about that because it is a quarterback league and they are the most highest paid. We don't bitch about a running back getting his head smashed in when he crosses the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
You just tackled him.
But I'm just saying.
And they don't slide either.
They're going full speed at each other.
I know, but certain.
Or a wide receiver on an end around.
But certain quarterbacks, they're pocket passers, and I can understand kind of, okay, roughing, okay,
Another
whatever.
dig at
I
Justin
don't
Fields.
think it's fair because there's no way for them to make contact with the quarterback without getting a flag on them. But then yet you have the running. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good.
No, we're talking to each other.
Go ahead. We're listening. Go.
But then you have the running quarterbacks that roll around and run, and you hit them, and it's not, you don't get flagged for that, or you do sometimes, and they shouldn't, because if they're rolling out of the pocket to evade and escape, you have every right to. At that time, they're a running back, so they still call it because they hit them too hard. They land on them. They have a baseline set of rules. If you land on them, if you hit them in the chest, if your hand touches in the ear.
Real quick. One, that's Tom Brady's fault and Peyton Manning's. Two, unless they tuck the ball, they are not a runner.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you.
I'm just saying,
a lot. He runs with the fucking ball like this and running around.
I get it.
And
I get it.
He goes from in between the tackles. He's on the hash lines he's on the hash lines on one side, and he runs out of fucking bounds on the other side. He's a runner. If he gets hit, fuck him. He's running the ball.
Boy, that's pretty passionate.
I don't.
He said the F word twice.
Yeah. Let's go. No, that just bothers me. All the flags. I mean, it's stupid.
Well,
it's a contact sport.
It does
and you make a shit ton of money to sacrifice your body.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. Is they forget that this is a game of grown men at high rates of speed hitting each other.
The most built, stoutest, fastest athletes running into each other.
What you guys are forgetting?
How many penalties you see in MMA?
Hold on. MMA penalties?
Unless
you go for the genitals or what is
about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
No.
And they get paid a fraction.
But if you hit it,
to knock someone out,
I am not an athlete in any way, shape, or form. But you give me $89 million. Fuck, just knock me over. I mean, I'm guaranteed this money. Here, hit me. I'm not going to be a.
Genitals illegal. There's illegal knees to the head or something like
That's
that.
not. It's only when they're down.
You're down.
When they're down,
there's
and you're
also hitting after the ref tells you to stop.
Okay, that's a penalty in the NFL, though. I mean,
but
once the whistle's called,
but that's
same difference.
If the
we saw that last night though in the game too. The whistle was not blown. They called a personal foul.
Right.
We saw that last night in the game.
The whistle was not blown. Personal foul was called because Greenlaw came in and hit him.
He did. Whistle was not blown. We even rewound it and watched it.
They called it a late hit.
A late hit.
When when the other defensive back on San Francisco had the wide receiver wrapped up, and
he had him wrapped up and was trying to get him down, and he was about to break
free.
He was still in bounds, and Greenlaw hit him, and no whistle had blown, nothing.
Okay, so I want to talk about you. Yeah, you're right about that. But talk about quarterbacks when they get the ball and they take off running. Was it Kenny Pickett that did the whole "I'm gonna go out of bounds but scoot back in"?
Yes,
I think it was him, and I don't know if it was when he
acted like he was.
Who did the? I know they made it illegal to not fake the slide. You have to slide if you fake.
Maybe it was him that done that. I thought
Josh Allen is really good about that.
Yeah,
it's like one of his skill
set
about the fake sliding, keeping on.
No, but someone did look like they were running out of bounds, and everybody pulled up, and then he just turned and went down the sideline.
You know, another thing about that though is maybe what the NFL should consider, and I think it should be universal, is once you're down, it should be like college. That would get rid of that whole when they start to slide.
Oh yeah, because they get back up.
The players running into them to try to tackle them.
Because you have to touch them.
You have to touch them.
But I think on the quarterback slide, you are down. Once the quarterback slides,
they get a different
once
role.
you begin to slide,
because it's the quarterback.
You don't have to touch them. I mean, you always see an NFL player.
They do it anyways. But
they're diving for them. I mean, it's this game of speed and seconds, and they're running, and all of a sudden, when do you know they're going to die?
It's literally a split-second decision.
Real quick,
split-second
flag that I seen last week that I thought was good. It was a college game. I don't remember which game we were watching, but it's the end of the game, and he's doing the kneel to run out the time. but before he would kneel, he was sitting there like pretending he's about to kneel and walking to waste time, and that guy fucking smoked him. And there's
that
like which was a flag.
There was a flag.
Yeah. It's like, just kneel, you piece of shit.
Well, they're running back and forth.
Because one team did that one time where they pretended to kneel and then ended up throwing a touchdown. And I forgot if they won the game or they were getting back in the game. But yeah, they went for the V formation. And
they're all just kind of sitting around, and finally some guy just
threw.
Well, we've talked a lot about penalties and refs, and it is frustrating to watch it because there is too many penalties. Yet you want to be, especially if it's your team that's getting the infraction that you miss, that hurts your team and winning the game, scoring the point, whatever. But anyway, Kristen, let's go ahead and talk about the picks last week. How did we do on NFL picks?
Last week on the NFL picks, No, you're fine. The NFL, we went. Zach went. I'm trying to look at his notes. Jesus, I'm sorry.
Right. As you look at that, let's talk about.
Zach went 2-3 in the NFL. You went 2-3. I went 2-3. Sean went 3-2.
Ooh, look at Sean won this week.
All
right,
dude, that wasn't anything special because I screwed in the college.
I know. We'll talk about that here in a minute. All right, this week's picks. Anybody? I think everybody picked Philadelphia practically.
Not me.
You didn't.
Two people did not.
Just us four.
Let's see if I remember who it is. Let's see. You've got Philly. Creston's got Philly.
And hey, I'm hoping Baker Mayfield.
Zach has Philly.
So Sean's
me and Destiny.
Yeah.
So out of all of us, I was the only one that did not take Philly. I just don't trust that. They give it up late. Philly's been giving it up late.
Thinking the defense is a little weaker than what
No,
it is?
they slack off. They get the big lead and then they just slack off.
Dallas 12.5.
They did against Minnesota too. Wait,
Zach was the only one that
Minnesota.
didn't.
Who was the one before that? New England.
Yeah.
They barely pulled that out.
So far winners. Sean did have San Francisco at 10 points, so he's already up to 1-0 before we get in the NFL.
How much was that win by?
I didn't even look at the score.
Oh, it's right here. What's that?
They won by 28. Cool.
Oh.
Anyway, it's the Giants. Like I said,
without their star running back.
That's what I'm saying.
Doesn't matter.
And a horrible.
49ers didn't have their star wide receiver. Other star wide receiver.
Other. Yeah. How do you? I like that when you can. These certain teams. It's the other. Star.
You need two star wide receivers. I'm saying that. And that's where Kittle came in and got some points.
Kittle looked good. I mean, he played better last night.
Screwed it up. They should have had more picks.
I mean, did he play better? I mean, this week he was targeted like 15.
I don't pronounce his name right. Is it Ayuk, Zach?
Ayuk.
He was out, so Kittle obviously becomes number 1 or 2 then.
I understand, but this week he got like 10 or 12, 15 targets. The week before he had 4 targets and made 4 receptions. I mean, if you're not getting targeted, you can't look good. If you throw him the ball...
I mean, your quarterback's got only so many stars to throw to. I mean, Kittle then moves down the list.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, Kittle didn't look any different than he did any week before. I mean...
No, but they do. I mean, he is probably one of the best blocking tight. I mean, they use him a lot in the run game.
He's pass catching and blocking. He's really good.
No, I mean pass catching.
And I will tell you right now that Belldozer could be that same guy, but they just don't allow him because Kelsey.
Yeah, I mean, but they got him back.
But when he was injured, Kelsey did really well.
I mean, to have two tight ends on the.
You mean when Kelsey was injured, Bell done really well?
Yeah. When he was injured, Bell
you said when Kelsey was injured, he done really well.
Yeah, Bell. Meaning
Bell. Okay.
Right.
That's where that sick comes in. It says sick and then Bell. T-Bell. One of the best quarterbacks at OU.
I want to talk a little bit about. I picked the Chargers. I was the only one.
Yeah, that was.
I picked the Chargers.
Did you?
No, you didn't.
Not this week. Last week.
This coming week. They play the Vikings. We were talking a little bit. I wanted to talk about. You brought up Kirk Cousins earlier. We wanted to get into that before we leave the NFL. So allegedly, there's a lot of rumors about Kirk Cousins and last year the contract. We were talking about last week. We talked about this on the podcast.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. I mentioned that I think Kirk Cousins
could be
is going to be a free agent and he should go to the Jets. Yes,
and that was immediately after the Aaron Rodgers injury. Now, national media, after listening to Sports Allegedly, has picked up on this.
Somebody's out there. Somebody's taking our ideas, like the USXFL.
Yeah. The USXFL.
Yes, we
Yes.
missed that.
The
yeah.
Rock.
I said that to
Rock-
Sean, and he's like, I knew it!
If
Because I knew
the
they were
Rock
coming.
is stealing, at least pay me for the logo because I just combined them.
Pay me? You see, he's already me. He's all about
Me.
me.
It's
We're
our
here.
money.
Okay, there we
Somebody
go.
has to pay for a new car.
Someone's going to pay for the new Subaru. It's our Subaru. I'm going to drive it. No one else can, but it's our Subaru.
So, talking about Kirk Cousins, so last year of his contract, team looks like hammered shit, can't run the ball. Now, Jefferson's awesome, obviously, but they're in a, and I talked about this, is why I picked them so low in my picks, and I did move the Packers. I really should have put them last. Well, maybe the Bears, but anyway. I
think we all screwed the pooch on.
But I picked the Vikings
Bears
lower
being
than
last.
you guys because I thought that they were
Huge.
they were in a mini rebuild.
what's the Bears at second for you?
It ain't over yet. It's early in the year. But I said that
He's still hoping that Justin Fields magic.
But I thought,
except for tomorrow, Sunday.
There was a reason they got rid of
Monday.
Dalvin Cook because of a money situation, and there were some other players, and they're kind of in a mini rebuild right now. No one just wants to talk about it because they thought that they could still win this division this year, and they still could because you've got the number one right. I mean, he is the best wide receiver.
There is no identity in the NFL North.
But
NFC North.
no, but they have the best wide receiver in the league.
Jordan Addison.
And they just have a horrible offensive line. He has no time to throw. We talked about that. But let's say Kirk Cousins last year, let's get some value if you're them. Say, hey, Kirk, listen, dude. You know we're going to suck. Chargers are going to beat them this week, so I got the Chargers big. I think the Chargers roll them. And they're going to say, hey, after this week, it's like,
well, the Chargers at a point and a half back.
we're going to move you to a team that you have a shot of winning the Super Bowl. Go to the Jets.
Would his agent be that guy?
They're already not having to give up a first-round pick for Aaron Rodgers because he got hurt. He's not going to play 65 or 70% of snaps. So they're only having to give up a second-round pick. Throw a little something in there. I'm not saying a first-round pick, but I'm saying fourth or fifth. It's better than what they're going to get anyway because I have the feeling that the Vikings don't want to sign Kirk Cousins.
It may be a potential Kirk Cousins MVP at Jets.
I didn't say
Kirk
that.
Cousins would be better, way better at the Jets.
I don't know about that. He's got a lot of, well, I mean, look at his stats now. He's second and leads another in all, like one in a lot
And
of categories.
he is
with
pressured.
zero
He is
O-line.
pressured
What's his
every
record?
time the ball gets snapped to him.
My point is why I called him MVP this year is because his weapons. He's actually losing weapons going to the Jets. You got Garrett and then who else?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
I can't name
Lazard?
another player. Yeah, I mean, Lazard's okay, I guess.
Everybody from the Packers that Brett
I mean,
used to play
Hawkinson,
with.
Addison, Jefferson, and then
I went
KJ Osborne.
Now, isn't Addison a rookie?
Yeah, Addison's
let's
a rookie.
not put him into the mix.
No, he looks great. He looks great right now.
Because everyone's double teaming Hawkinson and Jefferson.
And Osborne looks good.
Oh, and Hawkinson.
Well, they're coming up to the.
Hawkinson had a great game last
But I mean, but they have no running game. They're not going to. They're
is
not
he
going
best
to win
tight end?
anything.
He's probably leading in a lot of those.
Yeah,
They
he's
are.
leading
But
too,
they're not
yeah.
going to win anything because the defense is like. Okay,
Oh, I know, but
pass
I'm just
protect.
saying, Kirk, I said, like, losing Dalvin and not running as much and getting Addison, he's going to look a lot better.
His
and
stats
Hawkinson
will
a
look
full
better,
year.
but they're not going
Yeah.
to win.
No. Defense can't.
And NFL and
Defense
especially-
gives up 40 points.
And at Kirk Cousins' age, he's made so much money on guaranteed contracts. He was the original, I think, just making bank. He's probably going to want to win big. I mean, as he's getting to that age where he'd like probably a championship. I don't know, win a playoff game. I mean, that's to a team that's got it, and Minnesota's just not there. You know, Minnesota now. So the rumor is that they could do that, and then they would tank. Could be the legitimate tanking, which other NFL teams have tanked too. Don't get me wrong, but this would be an obvious tank to trade him and get a pick because of Caleb Williams coming out from USC, and they think that would fit perfect for them. I don't know what Caleb thinks about it because I don't know where he wants to go. Apparently, his dad's got his choice of teams he wants to go to.
I think he'd be cool with the Vikings. I think he just didn't want to go to the Browns or the Cardinals.
Well, and generally the Vikings have not been an organization that has been shit. I mean, they're always in there. You'll never see them at that 2-15 record.
Have they drafted
They
a
might
high
this year.
quarterback like anytime recently? Like
They tried that Kellen Mond shit for a minute, and that was a bad pick.
So
But
I
I
think
don't
about the
think he was
quarterbacks. You
that
got
high.
Brett Favre, and then you had the Bridgewater, Keenum, and then Cousins.
Was Teddy drafted by them?
I don't know about
I
that.
couldn't remember either.
Or was there a Castle guy? Who was that?
Matt Castle or something.
that his
like
name?
Yeah,
No,
no.
he was been older.
It's like,
I don't think there was anybody big, but anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that's the big rumor. We might have had credit to that first, and I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there is a lot of rumors about this game against
We've
the
had
Chargers.
credit for a lot of stuff.
It's why I've picked the Chargers to win big. I think the Chargers go in there and roll. It's a high-scoring game, but I think the Minnesota's giving up. And
Minnesota's defense. Is
Another
offensive
thing
line.
that we called first. I went through and I found the OU had sued in '84, had sued the NCAA.
yes. 2
2 weeks later, fuck ton of articles come out about that exact same
Hey,
thing.
we're listening. The computer mind. All right, let's move on.
Somebody is stealing our ideas.
Anybody got any?
Nope, nothing.
Anybody got any?
We're generational.
We are.
We're electric.
Let's
We
move
are
on.
the generational
Let's
talents.
talk about, and probably anybody that normally listens to us is like, where the
You know what? I'm
fuck's,
going to say
OU
this. I'm going to say
We're
this.
talking about NFL, damn it!
Yeah,
We're
where's OU?
Sooners.
Yeah.
And the final point of the NFL is a lot of people took Dallas, a lot of people took Philly, and Miami was the other popular pick for the NFL.
Yeah, and our fans that's listening, our picks, if they're confusing at all, I'll start posting them on our Facebook page.
Thank you. Appreciate
And copy to Twitter. So you guys can pick along.
Don't post mine.
I'm losing,
I'm
so it doesn't
horrific
matter.
this year.
No,
you're
please.
not. You're one win ahead of me.
Every,
I'm gonna get you this year.
Yeah. I ran away with it
It's-
last year.
hey,
I'm horrible.
just
Oh,
like
I don't
last
know about
year.
ran away with
Well, you
it.
remember last year, Kenny was. You remember
you,
last?
had, you had 50 wins. I had 70. So
Did you win last year?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've heard it.
Yeah.
No.
Have I-
No. You've heard it before.
Once a
Oh, we've
pod.
heard it.
Numerous
Well,
times.
last year was a
We rubbed
completely
it in.
different story.
Last year, wait, right here.
Just like
He's got
last
it on
season,
standby.
Preston.
Oh wait, no, he's got it. Yeah.
It's laminated.
You remember that last season, Kenny ran away with it at the beginning, but then his picks
fell off,
faltered.
yeah.
That's why I'm hanging in the middle right now.
Kenny-
Yeah, you're
Sean,
waiting.
yeah.
You're waiting like
Waiting
a-
for that pounce. I'm like
You're
a
waiting
jaguar.
like you're waiting like Deshaun Watson outside a massage parlor.
That's right.
I'm gonna get it. All right, jump to college.
Hell yeah, we haven't talked about the Sooners.
So,
yeah.
so
I'm telling you, what a week for the.
we don't have to talk about Tulsa because
What?
Sooners play Tulsa.
Yeah, they talk about that. Well, that was as we recap a little bit of that game. 66-17 was the score. A lot of kids played. I thought Tulsa, for the most part, Cardell Williams. I mean, I like that kid. I mean, they made some plays, but the defense, what OU has done a little differently this year on defense, and by no means, we're in Game 3. If you remember last year in Game 3, would have been last week, we're in Nebraska thinking we're going to the Final Four.
And we
because
got
they-
cursed.
Yeah, and then we just went on to this losing streak and finished 6 and 7.
There's no
after
curse
going-
in Tulsa. There's
at
a there's
3-0.
a curse in Nebraska.
So, but Cardell, I
happened.
thought looked good. They made big plays, but the defense for Oklahoma, they have tightened up. They're better on third down conversions, way better than they were last year, and that's been a big improvement for them. They don't give up the big plays. It's going to be interesting as we move to Cincinnati. We talk about them. They have a running quarterback this week that's mobile. I think their rushing is number 8th nationally rushing right now, Cincinnati, even after the loss to Ohio. And they outgained them 538 yards to 358
Cincinnati
yards.
lost to Ohio.
Miami,
Miami
Ohio.
of
Yes.
Ohio.
Oh yeah, Miami. Because
Miami
we were
of-
talking
Miami of
about
Ohio.
the Iowa State.
So they outgained them. They outgained them almost by 200 yards in total offense. Still lost the game. Turnovers were bad. Hey, listen, the quarterback for Cincinnati can't throw. It's going to be fun to watch the secondary. They could be eaten this week. I'm telling you, there could be some turnovers, some
So then why is
interceptions.
everybody? It seems like everybody's discounting SMU as a team.
We're not.
No,
Me and Kenny
no.
said SMU.
I know.
Okay.
But national
Sports allegedly internally.
national
it's known.
sportscasters are discounting SMU as a team. They're like, OU hasn't faced anybody. OU
Well,
hasn't
until
faced
next
anybody.
week, because we're mentioning it right now.
Right. So, and SMU's playing TCU, and we'll see what happens in that game. But everybody's like, oh, their first big test is going to be Cincinnati, and I have yet to see anything from Cincinnati that impresses me, that stands out. What is the game after? Who do we
Who you
play
talking
after
about?
Cincinnati?
Who doesn't? Oh, well, the only thing that everybody's talking about Cincinnati is the defense. It's going to be, allegedly, the best defense we played.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They have some draft picks on the defensive line. They're going to put pressure on the
The end of
O-line.
Luke Fickle's.
They do have some pressure on that from that defensive line, and they're going to test the O-line. Now, what I've said earlier this year, and I'm a minority, I know this, as far as my opinions on a lot of things.
No way in a minority.
But anyway, I have thought that the O-line doesn't look as good as it should. That's just me. And I thought it's been...
But here's what I said to you. Has Gabriel been pressured any when he's passing? You're saying our O-line doesn't look good. Our pass blocking is awesome. You're saying our O-line, when we run, we don't create holes. We have a stable of backs. I'm not too sure any of those backs are great. We don't have a back that's going to truck over someone. And, I mean, we don't. They're small.
Hey,
They're small in stature.
No, but name me a running back right now. If you were to put the Heisman out there for running backs, who's been great in college this year, running back-wise?
Who's been great in college as a team this year?
Oh, no, but I mean, there's been some quarterbacks that have played really well.
Oh yeah, there's massive there's massive.
I mean, you got
stats for quarterback.
You got
Everything
Williams
I see
for USC's looks good. You got He Loves Penix.
Hartman.
Hartman for Notre Dame. That's gonna be a huge game. We'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
Those players look
Dylan
good. Running backs
Gabriel's
seem to be
Dylan Gabriel's finally being put into that conversation.
Now I did call that in the offseason. Now
I'm just saying he's finally being put into it.
Yeah.
Somebody's stealing our content.
No, but one
That's
thing
all I'm
about you talk about Gabriel for the Heisman. I mean, last year the first 3 games. Now, would you say the last year 3 games or this year's 3 games have been more of a better competition? And I'm not saying neither one of them were great. I think the first game was probably the easiest this year than all of them. But Nebraska would be comparable to SMU in my opinion because I think the offense for SMU is way better than Nebraska's was. I also have predicted already that SMU is going to win the AAC. They'll be in the championship at least.
We both said
that. Because they're that good. I like the Stone kid is throwing the ball. But anyway, so far, just a couple stats to give you is Gabriel 66% passing or it was 66% passing, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 759 yards last year.
Teams played.
He's had 1 interception.
Last year.
This year, he's 82.5% passing, 905 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 interception this year.
And that 1 interception just happened at Tulsa.
Yes. So, I mean, he's looking more comfortable in the offense. He's throwing the ball better. I know we have disagreed with some of his short throws, but it's better. I mean, you got 66 versus 82.
He does look better this year.
I don't think that our wide receivers are great, by no means. We've got a lot of talent. We'll see how they continue to go. But it looks like they are meshing better together, the wide receivers.
With Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah. So as we move on,
you said running backs.
I don't think there's a whole lot.
Doesn't Syracuse have a really good running back?
Syracuse offensively is looking really good this year, and I don't think they've played anybody.
And I hate to say it, USC has a really good running back.
The Branch kid, he's done a lot of special teams.
Yeah,
he's done some other things. I don't know. I can't remember their running back name. I don't get to watch them as much.
I'm just trying to go through. I'm trying to go through and
but there's not a lot. I mean,
stand out.
Look at the Heisman so far, and they all throw them up there because it's all fucking clickbait. There's no running backs.
No, it's all quarterback. It's all quarterback.
Travis Hunter was the only one.
There's a couple receivers.
Travis Hunter was the only other one that wasn't a quarterback, and that's because he plays both ways. And he's hurt now for 3 games. We'll get to Colorado here in a minute too. So anyway, OU going to Cincinnati. It's the first real road game, in my opinion.
Real ho game?
I mean, they're coming to Tulsa. But I thought Tulsa gave a good showing. I like the thing about Tulsa is they didn't give up, and they've got some kids on there that's tough. And that's what Kevin Wilson's going to bring to that. Cardell Williams looks good. He's the backup. He's a freshman out of Texas. The guy looks good. They need to run the ball more, and that's one thing that Oklahoma seems to be trying to stop the most is to get that pressure and stop that run. So now we're talking about 8th nationally, Cincinnati, running. Or how's that going to look? What's the line going to look like? How's Gabriel? Is he going to have time when the defense is on the field? Cincinnati sold this game out, too. It's a big sellout. It's a big game. It's their first Big 12 game.
Home game.
Yeah. So it's their first one. It's
the opener.
And it's an opener for them, for their Big 12. And it's
our opener as well.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's their first one ever. We're leaving. They're coming in. And they've sold it out. It's an early game. What we're going to see differently is OU's mental state. Are they going to come in? Are they going to smash them, beat them up, don't look past them? And, that's the one thing we talk about every year is there's always one game.
Kenny, those are words of anger. I need you to use gentler words.
One game that OU shows up to a game, generally a road game, and they sit there and they either walk in and go, we've got this, or B, it's like, where'd that quarterback that looks like a Heisman player from
That's generally Iowa State.
Yeah, not
It
this year.
is. It's not this
This
year.
year.
No.
I know,
get to
Brock
that in a minute.
Brock Purdy's not there.
I don't know if they even play a quarterback now at Iowa State.
I don't know what's going on in that team.
OSU has 3. But anyway, so that's
and
the,
still none of them play.
that's the key to this game is I want to see the mental state of this team. We had got down
the
we
preparedness.
We were only up by 3 against SMU late in the game. If you remember last year, I believe we had 7 losses, and I think 5 of those losses were
Very
within
close.
a touchdown.
Yeah, we were close.
That we lost.
Let's not
I
bring
mean,
up the Texas Tech game that we actually should have
I'm
won,
saying
but they didn't
So I
count.
want to see when it got tight, if we're close, that SMU was a good test. I don't think SMU's no great shakes, but I think that they've got an offense that's willing to do it, and I think that game they were really just not aggressive on the defense. So, I mean, I'm sorry, on the offense. My apologies. I don't think you're going to see that again. I think you're going to see a lot of deep balls. Preston's going to bitch about half of them, and even
Well,
though half
he's
of them
always going to
underthrows.
bitch.
He
Creston's
underthrows.
going to do nothing but bitch about Dylan Gabriel.
yeah.
I haven't liked. I mean, he's very serviceable, but he
That serviceable word. It's like
he
telling you.
he
You said the
underthrows
same thing
a
about
lot of.
Purdy.
Have you already said we've been spoiled before?
Yes.
We
Okay.
have,
Okay,
have
cool. That's what I was like.
We
All
have
right,
been.
score predictions.
minus hurts. But anyway,
Let's go.
Fucking this guy.
This guy and his Hurts and Purdy, and he thinks Gabriel's a Heisman winner. And
I said
Hurts-
invitee, not the
Hurts-
winner.
and
Yeah, he
Hurts
did say
just
invitee.
sucks.
He's
I've got OU winning 38-17. They cover the spread.
Ooh, I hate you. See, I was either
Oh, I
42,
got 42-17.
Okay,
Oh, I was either 42-12
write
or
those down.
Yeah,
I was either 42-12 or 36-12. I couldn't decide.
Hey, I think the goal is what
Kenny,
I've-
one more time.
I've got 38-17. What I've wanted the goal is, can we keep every opponent under
Sean.
20?
I don't know. 42-12 or 36-12. It's a weird. Just give me the 42.
Did you say 12 or 17?
12.
I got 42.
Oh, he said 17.
42-17.
Zach?
He doesn't like college. He doesn't understand.
What do you say,
how it-
cute? Because we have the same number. Mine's wrote down. Do you want to look at all mine
So's
first?
mine, bitch. It's right there. That's
Wow,
why I went
somebody's
first.
balls just dropped.
I didn't want to be accused of stealing picks.
Zach doesn't.
You're
have
the
a
one that
score
accuses
prediction.
everybody
I
of
know, I'm
collusion.
kidding.
You do.
48-23.
How much?
48-23.
So you're going to give them a little more scoring. So that'd be the first time they go over to trade. All right.
Because Zach says he doesn't understand
Hey,
college football.
hey, listen. We win a road game and we win it by 1. I'm happy. We get out of there. We get a Big 12 win. It's going to drop us in the polls. We've been winning and being dropped in the polls, it seems like, so it don't fucking matter. We went out. We're in the Final Four. All that comes down to is Texas. We're all looking to Texas. We need to be undefeated. So does Texas. Texas plays Baylor this week. Not going to be a problem. Now, one thing I do want to remind Texas fans, if you're listening.
Oh, they're saying that might be a bit of an issue there.
If they're listening, it was
There's-
tied 10-10 going in the fourth quarter against Wyoming.
Wyoming, yes.
And they had their backup quarterback playing that game.
Yep.
No one wants to talk about that.
Hey, Wyoming.
Yes.
No,
Wyoming
because
had their
Texas is
backup.
back. They beat Alabama, which is down. Bad.
Way down.
Bad.
So, Tulsa, just quick Tulsa news. Tulsa's going to go to Northern Illinois. And it is a 3.5-point game.
It is a 3.5-point game.
3.5-point game. Zach has picked against Tulsa. He is the heretic, and he needs to be cast out.
He's trying to be bold and gain a
I
pick.
know. He had that South.
I think it was
one South Alabama pick.
I believe Boston College beat North Illinois, right?
No, North Illinois beat Boston
The
College.
Boston
And, and then Boston College about beat Florida State.
It
No,
was
so
a
that was-
rivalry game,
No,
and in
yeah,
your
if Florida
father's
State was going in,
in
sleep,
your
yeah.
father's exact words, a rivalry game is always hard unless it's Florida State playing Boston College, which
Is that a
doesn't
rivalry game?
believe. It is. It's a red bandana game.
Oh,
It
it was
is.
the red bandana
Yes.
game, but that had nothing to do with that rivalry with Florida State. It was about
That's
the
a
military
rivalry
guy.
game. It's a rivalry game.
Well, they did
So
that.
that
on
being
him.
said, that's why I picked North Illinois.
It's just like Oklahoma State sucks this year, but Oklahoma State's going to play Oklahoma. Very rough, very close, very tough.
I don't know about that. Let's not get
Oklahoma
crazy.
State can't play a
What's-
high school team right now.
Hold
Really
on,
rough.
Sean.
Before we get to this,
Sean, what's the timestamp real quick?
It's an
hold
hour
on,
two.
hold on.
Hour
We're
two.
at an hour 3.
No, an hour 2. I said it.
Okay, hour 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
OSU
Sean
really
said
going to make
OSU
us
really gonna
struggle.
make us
In my defense, I was being your father, so that's Kenny's words.
Oh, not this year. I mean, there is sometimes that generally that you'll get a team.
But you said that a lot of times.
I do,
you
but
get
a team,
in the
let's say
rivalry
a
game.
team that's down. Let's say the spread's 20.
How many times has Oklahoma State been down?
10 you could get 7 points on.
How many times have we been number 1, number 2, and Oklahoma State's been not ranked and played us really tough?
I just don't. I think. Are we ready to move into Oklahoma State?
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, we are.
Anyway, I've got Tulsa. I've got
as well.
Tulsa winning 38-35. High scoring game. I like it.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'll take that. I'll take that to action. I'm
Tulsa
Scott Van
winning,
Pelt.
too.
38 what?
I got 38-35.
Yeah. We've got a 3-point swing the other direction.
Crescent.
That's correct because we're the
Yeah,
dogs.
go with that because I had 42.
Oh, it's a three-way.
I had 42.
You
30.
too?
I had 42-37.
I took his.
I had 42-37 is what I had, but I mean, you can write me down with them. It doesn't
Hey,
matter.
listen. I think the one thing we want to talk about though is they lost to Nebraska 35-11.
Who?
Northern Illinois. I think
Okay.
Tulsa has got enough talent that they
Yeah.
can hang with Nebraska's offense.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Yeah, I never.
That's why I picked Northern
He
Illinois.
picked Northern Illinois.
And Zach, could you have
42-38
Northern
Illinois.
Illinois? Okay. So you cover by
Cute.
1. Ooh, cute. All right. Let's talk about them pokes.
Woo! Pistols were
Misfiring horribly.
misfiring, and you want to talk about a bad case of ED. You had 3 guys out there that could not get your offense started. 3 different guys.
I really
we
like.
talked about this at the
You got beat by.
whole podcast through the summer months when there was no football going on. What the hell is going on at OSU? People are abandoning ship. Everybody, it's going down. I mean, it's the fucking Titanic, and the iceberg is on the deck of the son of a
You
bitch.
beat my Major Applewhite.
I'm just telling you that it's a shit show.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
I had real quick.
Yeah,
as a-
three
as-
quarterback,
as an
three
antidote,
quarterbacks. You only manage 7 points against the Fighting Major Applewhites, and he's not even the head coach. It was sad because I picked OSU, and man, we watched that game and we did not understand what was happening.
I think there's an example, Zach, that I was talking to you a little bit about when you say I talk about complementary football, and you can have a lot of good offensive teams with a bad defensive team. We lived it through OU for 5 years, essentially.
Yeah.
Or at least 4, because that one year we still had some leftover defense that was kind of good. The Georgia game. So there was some talent there.
Not saying a word.
But I think complementary football, you look at that score right there, and you look, it was 33-7. But let's just go from first half only. It's 23-0 with going into halftime. So you have a team. I mean, 151-yard rushing. The defense give up almost 8.5 yards per carry, and they give 2 running backs had over 200 rushing yards combined, obviously. And then we've got 94 yards. Not we. OSU's got 94 yards.
Oh no, you can
combined.
say we. They're your team.
But I mean,
you're the bystander.
Whatever. So what you're seeing
That's
here
what they
though
do in
is
Arkansas.
the defense. That defense was not stopping that offense, keeping that offense, who I'm not saying is good by no means, but they got to be on the field to score some points, and they wasn't. What's time possession, Sean? That's one thing I forgot to look at. What is down? See if it's got time possession at the bottom.
It's under this.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that was one thing that
About 10 minutes.
almost 10 minutes difference, and so they're running the ball, their offense, who they're trying to play. Now think about that. 25 minutes was total possession
look
with
at the
3
turnovers as
quarterbacks.
well.
3 quarterbacks. And OSU had 2 turnovers.
1 fumble loss, 1 interceptions.
And so, but you're still trying to play 3 quarterbacks.
You pretty much
The
have
third game of the year.
but you pretty much have the same third down efficiency. 6 of 14, 4 of 15.
Well, no, the defense could not get them off the field rushing, obviously. Almost 10 more minutes time possession, plus you have 2 turnovers. I mean, everything is just, it's a snowball effect. So then you throw out, hey, quarterback 1, whoever's 1, let's just say quarterback
we have
name.
no idea who
You go out there,
1
and
is.
you do a little something, and, well, you look like shit, so let's put out number 2. You look like shit there, too.
Did they start Bowman, or
I don't know
did
who
they start?
started. It don't matter. They
I know-
don't even know what they're
No,
doing.
I know that Gundy was number 2. Gundy was constant number 2 quarterback.
Gundy should be the quarterback.
Period. I agree with that.
Let him just take his lumps. You ain't getting some prize guy coming in mid-year. This ain't a trade that you could get from another team.
But what if it could be?
Yeah. So, I mean, and so that's what you do. I mean, you just stick with one. Bowman, he's like a stone. He's got concrete shoes. They thought he was going to be better. He left Texas Tech. He went to Michigan. Neither one of them worked out, so he's on his third school. Now you've got Gundy, who's a coach's kid. He's probably smart, obviously. Played well in high school. Mobile. He's the most mobile one. So let him go. Rangel is the kid that you thought was going to be the good guy, and you still let him out there, but you let him throw the ball 5 fucking times, so why is he even playing? Just leave Gundy out there.
He connected once.
Huh?
He connected once.
And he threw 5 times.
8 yards.
I mean, Gundy was 9 of 18, and
I mean, according to you, that's Brock Purdy numbers.
well, and had 27 yards rushing. Gundy was the second leading rusher for the team.
Very passionate about this, isn't he?
Gundy should be starting. I agree with you.
Well, yeah, Gundy should be starting.
But-
Should be in the whole game, and only use a pistol or a wildcat if needed. But I don't know who would you use.
Gundy's still the best for the pistol or the wildcat.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know. Oh, so anyway, want to talk about before we get into the Iowa State game, little rumors for OSU. Have you seen? You know, I look at message boards. Obviously, don't believe them because there's a lot of wackos out there.
Wackadoos.
That need attention.
Welcome to Kenny's Wackadoo message board.
And-
Leave anything you want.
Where did I see that at? Hold on, I've got it.
You sent it to the group. Just go to the
No,
group
I
text.
didn't. I don't think I did.
Yeah, you did. You sent it to the group
I
text.
can't imagine you kept it to yourself.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't. He
You don't
sent it
keep
to the.
nothing to yourself.
I'm telling you, he sent it to the group text. All you got to do is go look at the group text. It's right there.
Anyway, rumor has it, allegedly on a message board, that there's a lot of players that's going to have an exodus after this game if they lose.
There was a lot of players that had an exodus in this offseason from that team. Period.
Yeah, and you know what? The one thing I've always said, I think we've talked about this, and it probably wasn't even on a pod, but OU had a lot of players leave to the portal.
Who Lincoln begged to stay.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
God for
yeah.
that.
he
I've got,
begged him, yeah.
I've got
Who
him.
did he beg to stay?
Lincoln, Riley.
Begged who to stay?
Remember his whole joke when he left? He did that podcast interview. I've got that piece of shit on little comments down here. We're going to talk about him.
Oh, do you need
Oh,
already
yeah,
know?
he's
jotted
on
him down?
my he's on. But anyway,
He's on my stat radar.
but those players that are exiting out of OU are going to schools like Texas State. Well, actually, let's not say Texas State because they had a good win right off the bat. Let's say Tarleton State or College of the Blind. Any of that stuff. So OSU's got players that are moving up. And that's a problem with these teams that are in that middle of the pack. And Gundy, let's be honest, rumor has it, and my bystander sources say that he's not into Neal. He don't like it. He's not into the portal. He don't like that either. And it's like, hey, fella, you got to change with the times.
Yes.
I mean,
Dabo.
you ain't fucking Dabo's the same
Dabo's
way.
the
You
same
ain't
way.
Joe Paterno. And I tell you this is, I think when Brent came over, he didn't like it either. If you remember, and after year 1, he went 6-7. He went, all right, we get some good goddamn players. We're Oklahoma. Yeah, start adjusting, and that's what the best coaches do. They adjust to the times. They adjust to what they need to win. Don't be stubborn. Don't want to be because I'm right. That's what Gundy. Talking about coaching. And
Saban's the same way right now, though.
he's leaning that way.
Sorry,
Yeah.
He is.
You said don't be right, and
Well, don't be stubborn about being right, but for coaching, my life is different than coaching. I mean, but anyway,
Is it Coach Teeth?
yeah. So we move on to Iowa State. Over under me and Sean looked. I think it's 36 as of this morning when we talked, 36.5 or something like that. Iowa State's not had a good year. They've lost to Iowa. They've lost they beat Northern Iowa or something.
yeah, Northern
And then
Iowa, but
and then
they lost to
somebody
Ohio.
else. Yeah, and they lost to Ohio. Not Miami of Ohio, the Ohio.
The Bobcats,
but not
the
the
Bob
Ohio
Kitties.
State, yes.
And not the ex-Nebraska head coach.
No, he's gone now. He
What are you
retired.
doing?
Anyway,
What are
message
you
boards
doing?
going to see a
Oh,
massive
yes.
exodus of contributors after the Iowa State game. They're going to quit into the portal when it opens. Might not even have 22 starters after this week. Why is Gundy acting this way? And he's got a built-in excuse, etc., etc. Do I believe it? No. But there's a lot of just chatter coming out of Stillwater. And it's going to lead into two things.
Yeah, there's chatter coming, and that chatter.
It's going to
usually-
be, after next year, it's going to be a dude. you need to change what you're doing, and we got to start winning. The big boys are leaving the Big 12. It's your time to shine. This could be it.
Okay, we saw what happened when we allowed other teams besides Oklahoma and Texas to shine. They both fell off the face of the earth. Baylor, Oklahoma State. And now,
Kansas State's still there, but they had a bad loss against Missouri.
That's what I'm saying. 64-yard field goal?
Yeah, 1 or 4. Whatever.
But remember, they played TCU, and TCU is already... Is this a curse? Did we start a curse?
What do you got in the game as we move on?
I've got OSU 14, Iowa State 23. 23-14, Iowa State.
I'm taking 16-13.
17-16 for me. Got all that, Zach?
No.
Okay.
Crescent 17 what?
Good.
No, 14-23, Iowa State.
Because you picked Iowa State, didn't you?
I did.
17-16?
Who's got the paper?
Yeah, 17-16 OSU.
Sean.
16-13 Iowa State.
With the cover.
Yeah, they cover.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, they cover.
3.5 is the
Yeah,
spread.
it's 3.5. I don't know where the paper goes. It was right here.
Zach's got it.
Oh, it was actually.
All right, let's move on. All right,
He doesn't know how to read it.
let's talk a little bit as we close up. We've got about 5 minutes left. Let's close up the college. Well, no, actually, Crescent, let's talk. We'll close with college. I've got some things to talk about college. But let's move on to
Here's real quick. Kenny's juggernaut of NC State is tied with the not juggernaut of Virginia at 21-21.
Be a good win.
In the fourth.
Good win for Virginia.
It would be. With 36 seconds, it looks like overtime is going to happen in that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, because Virginia's. Well, now hold on.
I don't know where this is at.
Did they just score the touchdown, Virginia? Because it says passing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they might have already kicked.
as you look up that, let's move on to the most exciting minute in radio, podcast, sports allegedly history. We've got Preston at the Outdoor Minute. Get ready to get us some good shit, aren't we? You're finally going to get to do something outdoors.
It's finally fishing time.
Yes, all right. Let's talk a little bit about that. Tell us what you did. Tell us what the plans are. How'd you do?
Standing up
and
with
then
his
what's your next tournament in the next couple of weeks? So go ahead.
I've got the Nichols tournament this weekend. It's a championship. Saturday and Sunday. I've been pre-fishing 3 times this week. It has been up and down practice. I went Monday, bright, sunny, bluebird skies. Really struggled to get bit. Tuesday, overcast, raining. Was a lot easier. Had a pretty good day. Wound up probably having 18 pounds. Then was off Wednesday, Thursday. Went back today. Obviously overcast, raining, big time, thundering, lightning. Cut my hook off today and just threw the bait without a hook on it. Had a lot of bites, way more than I've been getting. Thought several of them felt like big fish heavy when I picked up on them. They're swimming off with it. I'm kind of excited about Sunday's day. Tomorrow, supposed to be clear, bright skies, light wind. Think it's going to be very tough tomorrow. I'm hoping to have around the 14 to 16 pound range, and that will be a blessing if I get that.
Now you're taking a 2-day average, right?
2-day average. And most years it takes 38 to 42 pounds to win the Nichols. I'm going to tell you right now.
So one of Kenny's breasts.
I'm going to tell you right now. I think that the winning weight will be 33 to 34 pounds. I don't think it's going to be as good. Nichols always has 230, 250 boats in it. They have 170.
Yeah, you said there were less boats this season.
176. Everybody went over there pre-fishing, talked to a bunch of guys. They're just not even going to waste their money. They're not going to pay the $300 to fish. They can't catch a fish.
Well, I mean, and that helps. That helps you guys that are going to continue to fish.
Not really, because the guys that's not showing up are not the sticks. They're not the guys that you have to beat. It's the average.
But still, but what I'm saying is you don't have to deal with another 200 plus boats.
Yeah, but still, when you have them boats in there, the payout. I mean, guaranteed first place is a boat. Second place is a boat. But third place is based off of entries, and it's always $10,000 to $15,000 for third place.
Yeah,
this year,
you want money. You don't want the boat because your boats keep getting destroyed.
No, I'd love to win the boat. I've never won a boat.
Your boat gets destroyed systematically by Jesus or
Yeah,
whoever's out there destroying your boats.
So I'm feeling good about the day. At least I have some areas that I know have fish in them. It's just when the sun's out, there's light wind and it's bright high skies. It's been really tough in the last few weeks to get bit on those days. Now, if it's cloudy, overcast, wind blowing, a little rain, it's been real easy. That's the forecast for Sunday. Tomorrow, high bluebird skies, light wind. It's gonna be tough.
Bright, sunshiny days.
So I'm hoping for 13 to 15 pounds tomorrow, and then Sunday.
Would you be happy if you got a 12?
No. Anything under 13 and a half, 14 pounds. I mean,
would you blame Kenny if you didn't?
No, I mean, there's no one to blame except me. I'm out there fishing.
Kenny makes you fail because he's always in the back of your head going, I would have done that differently. I would have thrown 3 A-rigs.
Not for fishing. I can't compete. No.
But yeah, so that's what I got this weekend. Then I have a week off, and then I go to Eufaula. And then I go to what's next? Oh, I go back to Grand, and then I go a week off, and then I go back to Eufaula again, and then I have a month off.
You said you're doing Eufaula during the OU Kansas game, right?
I have Eufaula on the 7th and 8th, and I have Eufaula on the
28th.
28th.
Yeah, the 28th is the game.
And then I have Lake of the Ozarks on November 10th or something, 10th and 11th, 9th and 10th. So really ramping up for all my end of the season where all the big money is on the table.
Well, that's good. And this is the official start of the season, correct?
The what?
This is the official start of the fishing season?
No, this is the official end of the season. This is the big championships at the end of the year.
So when does your season start?
It always starts the end of February, 1st of March every year.
Is when it starts.
It's when it starts,
and
then they take a lull in the summer because.
But nobody really did a big summer. Like you didn't fish that much this summer.
No, because no one fish. You fish February, March, April, into May. Some tournaments go June a little bit, but then you're mainly off June, July, August.
Yeah, so
and then it
you
starts
have like
back
a weird
up.
all-star stretch of like 2 months where you guys.
But it's too hot. I mean,
Yeah.
you kill too many fish. You can't haul them up and put them on. I mean, when you put them in a live well and haul them around all day, and then you got to go get in the bag line and take your fish. And I mean, it's hot. I mean, you got a 105-degree day, and you're sitting there with the fish up in a bag in the weigh-in line, and you're there for 30 minutes in line with all the other people.
Yeah,
a lot of fish die.
So
they stopped having so many summer tournaments.
All right, so this is the end of the tournaments, and so when does it restart after that?
February, March is when it'll start again.
It seems like you did a lot of fishing last year.
I do a lot of.
I do
a lot of.
But in the winter,
it's jackpots. There's no really.
Oh, okay,
It's just, I find a tournament.
So one-offs and.
Yeah, it's just one tournament. It's not a team. I mean, it's not a trail. It's just a jackpot tournament.
All right. What do you get for hunting?
Deer season opens October 1st, which is what, 2 weeks away.
Yeah, and so Jamie's been sending me pictures. He's got a buck, really nice looking buck, that's been wandering around it's out by Craig, out where Craig lives. He goes on that land on the other side. Other than that, I drove down Port Road today and I saw a couple pretty good sized deer that were just blasted by the semis that roll through there. One was missing a head.
Well, no, that deer got hit and it had a big enough rack that someone stopped and cut it off.
Oh,
That's the reason it was missing a head.
Well, it looked like the whole head was just obliterated. But yeah, I know it's starting, and I know they're moving, and I know they're a little bigger than they were. It seems like a little bit.
Oklahoma's always had some pretty good deer, but since the cameras have come out and people are having to pay to hunt, and people are managing their. I mean. Now that the cameras come out, when you're sitting there and you're hunting and a 128-inch deer walks by, you used to shoot it automatically.
Yeah.
Now you have cameras up and you realize you have 4 bucks on there that's 135 to
you're just waiting.
Yeah, 50 inches, so you wait.
And I do have to bring up the failure of Chelsea, the great burb of Chelsea, not purchasing land and running that as a lease. They lost money out there. You know
Where?
what I'm talking about. Oh, big Sky. Oh, Clem's area when Donna went.
Oh, I don't know what that went for. Yeah,
because an outside
a lot of it
company,
went actually cheaper than I
yeah,
thought
but an
it would.
outside company came in and got the stuff that's right near us, the really good land, the really good wooded.
The wooded stuff. That actually went for more than the pasture land.
And City
It
of
does
Chelsea.
now. There's more money in hunting leases than there is
And
pastures.
it was a company out of Broken Arrow, wasn't it?
I think so. It was Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
What I heard. Something like that.
Did he put
With the way everything's going on the cattle and stuff, I mean, you can buy feed and feed the cattle on nothing.
Kenny.
I mean, used to they would
That
have
is an important cable. Stop
used
with your
to
feet.
when they were raising cattle, they had big pastures. I mean, they ran cattle on.
A lot of people are haying their land.
Now they feed them.
Hey.
Yeah. So you don't need what you used to. So the hunting is where it's taken over as far as the money draw on the land.
Correct. Because you have a lot of people that can't hunt, but they want to.
Yeah.
What do you got for hunting? Actually, what's next? Season opening? Anything coming up?
Yeah, just said October
Same.
1st.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
Yeah, it's just-
Sorry. I was doing that.
I got to you. I got to you while you were doing whatever.
Gotcha. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. Let's move it on.
Zach, do you have anything? Okay.
No, there's just a couple things I want to talk about. Interesting things that I read this week. I saw Lou Holtz had come on Pat McAfee's show and had talked about. I mean, this guy was great.
Is it bigger than that?
I mean, he just came out and said Notre Dame's better than Ohio State. Got the
Which
best
we already knew.
best offensive line in the
Me and
country.
Sean knew that.
Yeah.
Sam Hartman won't even get his jersey dirty all year.
Jersey dirty. Well, no, he's going to get his jersey.
We have great running backs. They're averaging 10 yards a carry. Great receivers. He said defensively, our defensive line's better. He said if you look at Coach Ryan Day, and I coached under Woody Hayes, we won the national championship when I was there. I was proud of that. However, he has lost to Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, Michigan twice. And everybody that beats him does so because they are more physical than his Ohio State teams. And I think Notre Dame will take that.
And you know what? I can tell you right now, that's why we got beat at OU. Teams were more physical.
Yeah, we're changing that.
In national titles. But in
So what's the score? What are you guys going for that score? Because I think
that one?
Yeah.
I'll take a 35-16er on that one.
Oh, so you're going to be a big.
Big. I
I
got
don't know if
Nody.
it's quite that big.
I
think
know. I
it's
got
gonna be
Nody.
close.
I got Nody taking it.
I have Notre Dame too, but I don't think it's going to be quite that big.
I like
I don't
Hartman. I
believe. I
really
don't.
do.
Yeah. I don't believe in. I
But
don't
I mean-
believe in McCord.
but
I don't. don't
okay,
Me
believe
and
so
you have Ohio State.
I have Ohio State, and I simply why because
That's
I
a
think
problem
the
for me.
only thing that
He and I are the only two that took Notre Dame.
I think that the problem is the only thing that they're lacking. Or,
Or
I
you
mean,
could actually
or,
make
I'm
it
sorry.
work.
The only thing that Notre Dame is ahead of Ohio State talent-wise is the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think Ohio State has everything else. I mean, Lou Holtz, hey, bless his opinion, whatever, they're going to be more physical. But, I mean, we've watched Notre Dame continuously for years try to be something they're not, and they always fall flat on their face
I understand
when the
this, but
talented
I don't
teams
think
come in,
this year's the
regardless
year.
of how physical they are.
I don't think this year's the year. I don't think Ohio
And
State
you might be
is
right.
good.
I mean, you say that because the quarterback. The quarterback, it's been a rusty start for the quarterback. But, I mean, they have the number one wide receiver in the nation by far. And they need to give him the ball more.
But if you
And
can't throw
he's
the ball,
getting
if
better.
you can't throw the ball to him,
Statistically, he's
if you
getting
can't
better.
throw the ball to him,
And
it doesn't
McCord
matter how good he
improving.
is.
It's improving. So anyway,
Doesn't matter
I
how
look
good
for
he is.
Ohio State to win by about 6 to 10 points. I think it's going to be a big win for Ohio State. They're going to be
I think
held in.
Notre Dame's going to win by about 10 points.
And that's possible. It's the second most exciting game I'm for this year this weekend besides OU. Now, Colorado. Let's talk a little bit about Colorado before we leave.
God, here we go.
No. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, so
I know. I'm just.
It's not gonna be fun till next week. Next week's gonna be really fun.
we all keep saying that. Is that are we?
No, I meant us talking about it after they lost.
So we said this last week. You know, Colorado State hasn't won a game yet. They took them to overtime. Probably should have won. Colorado State had a lot of gaffes in that. I mean, that game was just horribly coached.
It was
they blew
gifted to.
Well, it was horribly coached at the fourth quarter.
Yes. And I never, and we've always talked about this. And one day when I'm a coach, somewhere down the line,
Somebody
that
please hire
you
Kenny.
put the pedal to the
So we
metal
wanna make
in
a
the
lot of
fourth.
million
Don't
dollars.
let up. Quit worrying about time. You're getting all these statistics and these. Wait, I'm screwed. Damn it. Actually, no. It's
You're
all
in
about-
analytics.
Yeah, analytics.
The analytics say that I should punt every
And I
down.
don't like analytics. I love statistics.
Kenny's,
But analytics.
We know
I
you
don't.
love statistics.
Kenny's analytics are all...
Because statistics paint a picture.
Well, my-
Analytics are only good if you win.
My analytics say punt every down.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's true. I mean, analytics only look good if you succeed.
And how many people have succeeded using it?
I mean, there's some analytics. I mean, we talked about the NFL going for 2 points a lot more this year, going for the 2-point conversion. I mean, the
Right
auto.
out of the gate, it just makes sense.
I don't think that's analytics. I think that is just.
It's analytics. Because what it's telling you is if you get to this certain point...
I think that's just knowing that their defense is trash, and you're like, hey, I can do this.
No, not necessarily. I mean, because you got generally a guaranteed 1 point or a...
NFL would be fun if they just made them go for 2 point anyway.
Would you say 60-40?
The kicker was only there
Probably.
for a field goal.
Well, you got the USXFL. They do.
I know they do that.
They do theirs
because
different.
they know that. I mean,
And now
it's more
Kenny
fun to
doesn't
watch.
want to bring up. I had to think about this. Kenny does not want to bring up the Florida State Clemson game because, well, Clemson was one of his finalists in the Final Four, and he doesn't. He's lost belief on that.
Yeah, I figured he would be real strong and just go with Clemson.
I thought he would
I
too.
see he folded.
I tried to predict
He's
it.
over it.
And he's
Well, I'm
over
in the
it.
middle of the pack, and here's my comeback, baby. Here comes the win. It's got to secure
He's already
the
moved
easy
on.
wins. I mean, I think that's going to be a closer game than Ohio State Notre Dame.
I do too.
You disagree?
I don't know though. I think Florida State versus
Did you watch that
Boston
Duke
College
game?
last week. I think they come in flat and just thought they had the game won.
And they won it, and that's what you got to do as a team. Is OU this week, are they going to be the flat team, or is it going to be the game?
I hope not because I picked him. I need that win.
Or is it Iowa State next week, before the Texas game?
Iowa
Are they just going to come in flat? And maybe only win 27-10 or something.
I don't think we can lose to Ohio State. I don't think you can lose to
Iowa State.
Iowa State. I don't think you can lose to OSU this year. I don't think you can lose to either of those teams. I have not seen nothing out of
In those
either one
years
of
that
those
we
teams.
lost to Iowa State, Brock Purdy was there. So, you remember that? Or the close
He was
games.
there for 4 years, and they never won nothing. They did make one Big 12
They
championship
beat us.
game.
They came
never
into
won a
OU and beat
championship.
us.
Oh, yeah, okay, they win a game. I mean, we had Lincoln Riley shit show
Whoa,
going
whoa, whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa, sweetheart.
You're the only one that named a kid after him.
Yeah, you're the one that
That
said
wasn't my
Lincoln
idea.
Riley. You're the one that said
you.
Lincoln Riley is going to be
Your
awesome
son's
for
name
OU.
is Lincoln
He
Case
was.
and
He was
Riley.
an awesome offensive coordinator.
Oh,
I was
Case
wrong
and
about-
Lincoln, Case and Lincoln
Okay.
Riley.
See, he was wrong about the head coach part.
I was. I admitted that.
I know, but when he come in, I
I
said he
admit
was
it because
shit.
we're recording and you need it for further evidence that you said that it was
As
wrong.
we segue to Lincoln Riley. So, Lincoln Riley this week, he was the big news, and we're going to close on this.
Yeah.
He was the big news. He suspended
Can I close this?
a young writer, Luca. What's his
close
name?
this? Luca?
What is this? What's Luca's name? Hold on.
Can I close this?
My gosh, I had Luca right up here. Luca Evans, is that what his name
Can I
is?
close this?
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
USC is. Never mind. I was like, can he read it verbatim from the internet?
No, I'm not. Go ahead. I just had to get his name. I had it wrote down, and I can't read my own writing. My apologies.
Oh my god.
Got a journalist coming there taking photos, but he actually wasn't taking photos.
Wasn't
Lincoln
even
got
photos.
super pissed off about it, and then the next day they put that like snow paint on the windows.
It was Luca Evans. No, hold on. That was at OU. Luca Evans was the one that was suspended this
Right
last
here.
week.
Right here.
Yeah, it was Luke Evans. I had it right. Sorry, Luke Evans was suspended last
Luca?
week. Luca
Luca.
Evans.
Oh, it was Lincoln at
was-
OU that did
yes,
that.
he was
Okay.
suspended last week. I don't know, some shit. He talked to a player outside of the realm, and he overheard a conversation. I don't know. Wrote a good. The story he wrote about was a
Kenny,
nice piece.
Kenny,
It was a positive. It was a positive piece that he wrote about the team, and then so all of a sudden Lincoln Riley's like, "Hey, we're going to suspend you for 2 weeks." Now, here's what happened. Backlash started immediately. This made national news. Obviously, made local news.
Let me tell you why.
here.
Let me tell you what it says. It says that USC contends that Evans
Reading from
violated its prohibiting reporting on anything outside of media availabilities in the practice facility.
He talked to a guy as he was leaving practice,
Yeah.
or something to that nature. Lincoln Riley found out, got pissy because he's a psycho, because he wants to hold everything in,
Two players had.
and suspended him. National news just ate his lunch, and then all of a sudden it says now, if you look down at that article, that USC officials actually set up this phone call. This was not Lincoln Riley reaching out to Luca himself. If you look down, it says we set up this phone conversation, and then they had a hard conversation, and Lincoln wanted to make sure that he understood about following the rules and we'll lift that policy.
This is a huge overreaction to what USC program would be perceived as policy violation.
Well, no, I mean the paper come
We
out.
clearly disagree with the stand and bully behind you.
That's the people that come out. I mean, the national media.
Hey,
I mean, the only one.
Let's
that went
not
on,
forget
except
that
Colin Cowherd.
that Lincoln Riley had his house broken into by OU fans before he left. Yet nobody could
multiple.
Find, nobody
He multiple times.
But nobody could find the
Police
any
report
of the
said he
police
was
reports.
called twice, and it was a black Escalade that had circled the neighborhood.
Kenny, do you know how many black Escalades
how do
are
you
in
get
this
a
world?
black Escalade in a gated neighborhood?
I don't know. Everyone.
Do you know how many are in Oklahoma?
You know how many-
Not many.
Well, and
No,
in
everybody
Norman-
on Twitter from Oklahoma was taking pictures. I mean, there was one guy in Tulsa seeing an Escalade. Should I be concerned? I mean, it was all over the place.
I know, but what I'm saying is it's
in a gated,
community.
I know.
Do you
that was
know
the
how
joke
many
about
soccer
it.
moms have black
No,
Escalades?
That was the
Kenny
whole joke.
bought a mint.
I have a 97 almost Escalade.
We only get
that,
Uber Eats from the guy with
but
the
it's
Escalade.
full drive. But anyway,
No, he brought a suburban. What color is it? It's not a mint green. It's like a deep
turquoise
mint.
or whatever. Yeah,
It's not a
minty,
turk. Yeah, it
minty
is a
green.
deep mint.
Yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, the suburban.
Yeah.
It's a blue green. It's a blue green.
So going back to that,
Watch
no
The
one's going to be
Sopranos
scared
once.
about that. No,
Like,
it's
I've
just-
got to have one.
No, the media ate it. No, the media
Kenny's
ate it.
screen goes black every time. He's like,
The media ate it up, and they ate him alive. And USC went, okay, this is a bad look. We need to hurry up and reverse this. The bad look for USC is going to continue. I promise.
so which one was the distraction from the made up story? Did he try to? Did
No,
he
the
get?
story was real.
No, the break-ins.
Oh, Luca.
The
I don't
break-ins.
know. I don't know.
Because they both came out at the same time.
I know. It's like he did a podcast, and the next week he's penalizing.
Yeah, if
a
anyone
reporter.
hasn't watched the podcast with Lincoln Riley, we encourage you to go watch it. It's a train wreck. It's fun.
I don't know who it is, but he's talked about.
So I just call it Cowherd.
No,
show Colin Cowherd.
It's called Hey, I Really Fucked Over a Program, and it's been about a year or two now, so
no, they benefited us.
I feel
it
like
was a blessing.
I can
So
finally talk
I
about it.
inherited
it
a
is.
really good program, and then I just shat all over it
Yes.
and walked away.
Yep.
Because if he would have done that podcast 2 weeks after he shat on the program, I mean, it would have been worse. I mean, they would have ate him alive. Now it's been 2 years. He's
But
like,
he
I
did
can do
claim-
a podcast.
He did claim,
Wait,
he-
didn't
he-
Caleb Williams' dad move him in a black Escalade?
on a trailer? Yes, it wasn't.
That was-
No, it wasn't Escalade. It was a Tesla.
Was
Or
it?
was kind of a
No.
sporty car of some type.
No, it was a Cadillac, wasn't it? It was the
I
big
know it was some
Cadillac.
sort of sport. But anyway, going back to.
It was a big SUV.
But going back to Range Rover, maybe.
Was it? It
Yeah.
might have been.
Going back to that, I'm guessing his car that we saw in the trailer, because it was big news. But guessing, I mean, he made the comment that he encouraged all the players to stay at Oklahoma. There's
He did.
players that have
Don't
come out
follow
and-
me. I want you to stay.
we already know they were players.
It was a lie.
That
Hazel-
they
Hazelwood
were
said it.
begging. They were
Multiple
begging.
people broke into his house. It's a lie. Why is the guy still talking? And if you're asked about Oklahoma,
Because it haunts him, and
No,
he knows
just
it.
say-
Whoa.
no, just if you're asked
You
about
said-
Oklahoma, just say, "Hey, that's my past. I love
You-
being at USC. Let's move on."
Didn't work out. Moving
What
on.
he really thought in his feeble mind was that he was so goddamn good here that Oklahoma would have been. Yeah, I understand. He's going to a better job. That's not how that works.
Kenny, you
Our
just-
fans
you
think
just
Oklahoma
asked a
is
question.
the job.
Yeah.
You just asked a question that is about you.
What?
Why does he keep talking?
I said, why does he keep talking about Oklahoma? You didn't let me finish that.
Why does he keep talking about Lincoln Riley?
What is he?
And
No, I
naming
had-
his kids after
And
him.
how he
No,
didn't
I-
name his kid.
No, I had to, and I didn't. And I
Timmy
had,
did that.
yeah, and I had to bring this
I
up.
didn't name my own kid. Someone else did.
And I had to bring this up because it was national news that this guy continues to be a douchebag, and what OU fans.
Well, no, we
There is a huge
realize
following
it.
of OU fans that
the-
are just going to eat his lunch, everything he does wrong.
Yeah.
And that's what made
Us.
that.
But
huge.
I mean-
the thing is that he's feeding the OU fans that because everybody in OU has moved. You watch every time OU fans stop caring about him, he starts
Some other bullshit
He starts,
comes up.
yeah.
Well, I thought
He
the real
needs- he
stab that
needs
he
that.
had too
He
was
needs that.
where he was like, "Well, there's several kids on Brent Venable's
Venables.
program right now that wanted to go with him that he said not to."
And it's probably some of those ones after year one that dipped out of that program and went to, I don't know, Texas Southern or whatever. Or the Texas State Armadillos. But anyway,
You know that
Arkansas
only
State.
exists.
No, but I mean, it is what it is. And it's just funny because I found joy in that.
It's sad.
Because the
You
guy...
can tell it haunts him. It eats him alive.
He just can't shut up. And it's like, dude, focus on your team. Your one great quarterback recruit was Spencer Rattler.
and he's
doing average at another school. You got Williams by luck because your other guy that was your guy is the backup at Georgia.
As
Vandergrift or whatever. And now you better win it this year.
Or you're
has
done.
to.
You're done. He's done at USC.
He's going to...
No, they love 10
San
wins.
Diego
Chargers!
My pick. Still going to call him San Diego. I know it's L.A. But Chargers are my pick.
Well, after the Cowboys have a first-round exit, where's Dan Quinn going?
Dan Quinn, that's an interesting question. How many jobs are going to open, though? Is there a lot of jobs going to... You think about the NFL,
Chargers.
I can only think of 2 jobs that
It
might
seems
open.
like the Bears might open.
That one and the Chargers.
Dan Quinn at the Bears would be kind of cool.
Well, they need to get back to defense. Eberflus
They need to get it.
Eberflus
For a year and a
had
half,
one
we're
good
good.
year at the Colts. Guy's a little...
No, I got it.
It's
I
a little
understand.
odd.
I understand. I understand, and I don't know. We have conflicting reports about what's going on there. You got a rookie saying one thing, but stuff was stolen. We do know that, but it's Chicago. It's
What's worth $100K
Lori
is what was
Lightfoot.
going through my head.
Lori
Yeah.
Lightfoot
Flame
has
machines. So someone on the
stopped.
streets are like, "Watch this, guys.
Yeah.
We got a new
It's-
can to
no.
burn around."
It's a dusty plaque with cobwebs. It's like 1984-85 champs or whatever.
We had that one.
like, we got it.
No, and we all know that the mayor, the former mayor, and the governor
Don't get political.
have ruined that and caused the unsurmountable amount of crime.
Chicago was crime-ridden before then.
No, but I think
It's getting
now
worse.
you can go to all of Illinois. You can get like a murder 1 or murder 2, and you don't go to jail.
If you don't murder yourself driving through there, it's like,
that's also true.
Anyway,
So-
hey, listen-
sorry to our Illinois fans. Go Illinois against Tulsa.
and like I said, it's still at home. Anything else? Closing? I mean, it's been a fun week of football, but you realize after this week, actually already, that a quarter of the college football season's
Kenny,
over.
shut up. You always ruin our lives. You
do.
bring us
Don't bring that
down.
shit up.
It's like we're having a great time just talking about football. And he's like, okay, real quick, gonna plug a stat that no one gives a fuck about.
Hey, do you know that
Was that a proper placement of that word?
Do you know that eventually you're going
Nobody
to die?
No, but it's just funny. It's like you get into football, if you want to age fast, you just watch football.
Let me just
because through
Is that what happened to you?
February
His
through
face
all
does get wider around this time of year. He's like, Minimal's gonna do it or not.
17 more wrinkles just come into existence.
God damn, it's stressful.
We get to
All
the
right,
final
all right,
two,
all right,
up
all
by
right,
20.
all
He's
right.
just like,
Hey, I'm gonna do our college pick rundowns. So I can do. All of us believe in OU. All of us believe in FSU. I'm sorry, Kenny. You turned against your Final Four, Clemson.
Had to.
Zach and Kenny are the only two that are going for Ohio State. Me and Creston.
I don't necessarily
Got
think
the
I'm going for them.
Leprechauns.
I just think they're.
we do have an individual in our group that picked Denver over Miami.
Stop.
Sorry.
Stop.
Sorry,
We're
sneezy
not
time.
supposed to bring that up, and it's Kenny's wife. And
A 7-point spread.
the top-
I also shit on her for that Atlanta pick last week or the week before.
Very, very,
the
very
three of-
lucky.
the
Oh, Kenny, or he also picked
The three
Atlanta
adults-
against Detroit because Detroit burnt him so bad last
Hey, that's
week.
true.
Which I noticed.
Can you stop?
that.
The
Yeah.
three adults have gone for have gone for Tulsa, and the young boldness
pick.
went with Northern Illinois.
I'm leading.
And
It's those peach
um,
colored glasses.
and Creston and Zach went with ISU, and we went with OSU. You and I.
Yeah, but I think we all picked
I
them.
have
Did
no
you pick
faith.
ISU to win or just to cover?
Cover.
No, he's got
No,
it.
Oh, they have to-
They have to
they
win.
have
to
They
win.
have to win.
They have to win.
They're
that's right,
favored.
because they're the favorite. Yes.
Are you the one who picked
I do
Ohio
not
State
have
with me?
faith in OSU.
Huh?
Who picked Ohio State with me?
You
Me.
did.
Okay, that's the only one I wanted to change, but I was
If
too
you want to
late.
include the ladies all
I didn't realize
picked
that
Ohio
quarterback
State
was so
because
good. Or looking so good.
you know they're
Oh,
doing
he is.
their
He
thing.
is. He is.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, thank you for joining us. We got a lot to talk about next week.
Colin, I love you. I'll come see you soon.
Yeah,
I gotta
sorry
cover.
it went so long. I mean, it's the worst time of
We did.
year to talk short because we
Talk
got so
shorts.
much to talk about.
Talk
And we're gonna go home. We're gonna talk more about it. We just ain't gonna record. it.
But no, we're gonna end this. We're gonna talk more about it, and then we're gonna talk how we should start a movie. stream or a music.
Yeah, no.
stream.
After we end this, we talk about everything that we didn't like about the podcast and things that you guys are hypothetical fans. There's none of you. No one listens this far.
We
It's
have
just us.
7. No, I don't know. All right, guys. Time to say goodbye. We're
Good
gonna
luck
go
this
ahead
weekend, Crest.
Thank
Wins
you.
the big money. We need a new studio. Remember,
we need a boat.
Playing for a studio.
boat.
Studio.
It's all on your shoulders.
relocating. Here we go.
Get them stand-up baits going. Kenny.
All right, bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Bye. I didn't say shit. I've already closed it.
All right, you ready to record mine?
No, Kenny.
Yes, that's what we're gonna open with.
Yeah, for our Spotify. iTunes.
Spotify. Not the live.
No, I got that. Let me finish the fucking pod.
I think at 143.
All right,
Right.
real quick.
That's probably our longest.
Real quick.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh god, we
2
had
hours
3
something.
bangers there a couple
Yeah.
times. I was like, all right, real quick, look into the mic and pretend he's recording. Practice a couple times to see what you're gonna say because we can critique.
Yeah, what do you have?
Before he has to
anything
record
written?
Oh yeah. I have some notes.
All right,
So
here we go.
Okay, Kenny,
hold
notes
on,
are
hold
not
on, hold on.
written. Do you
I have notes because I
written?
want to talk about it. Now, one thing I want to ask.
Oh god, I think I'm actually still on.